Let's see. What's up, everybody? We got a decent little group of peepees here in the minute. Wait. Phrasing? That came off wrong. Completely. People? Peeps? Not the other thing. Anyway. What's up, Bailey? What's up, Zaven? Only season 4, Captain Carson Tava, Commando. Somehow, Gideon returned. I mean, at least this time we would kind of already know how. There's already a pretty good setup as to why they would do that, but I honestly, I think we're done. I think we're done with Gideon. Flash returns next week. Oliver episode. Hell yeah. Now there's this post-credit scene across the Spider-Verse. Spider-Man Toby, Spider-Man Andrew, Spider-Man Tom are in a dark room, a hologram. He's back, and the last time he nearly destroyed the Spider-Verse. You see from their point of view, and it's revealed that to be Morlun? Spider-Man Tom? They were brought together for a reason. Let's call them in. Spider Andrew, starting with her. Cut to black as it shows Born and Ready plays. I don't know. I don't know what that means. I don't have a clue what that means. Can't wait for the Avatar Way of Water and Ant-Man to be watchable on Disney+. Yeah. I mean, I'm all for everybody checking out Ant-Man and coming up with their own conclusions, man, but I have zero desire to really ever rewatch that movie. Avatar Way of Water, though, surprisingly enough, I really did enjoy that movie. For somebody who was really, really critically hard on the first, the second one I enjoyed substantially more than the original. So, if you haven't seen it, strap in. I think it's pretty good. When I saw the Mandalorian Stormtroopers, I was like, oh, my, they fly now. Well, they've flown since Rebels, because we've seen those before. Those were in Rebels. They were, well, early stage Imperial Super Commandos. What we saw here, I assume, is an upgraded version of them. They were made out of, their armor was made from Beskar. Their armor was inspired by Mandalorian designs because they were Imperial Mandalorians. I assume, like, Gideon's obsession with these people, that's probably what they were. That's my guess. And, of course, they could fly because they were Mandalorians before. Mando and Grogu will most likely appear in Ahsoka for at least one episode, so that Disney can sell that Grogu merch. Well, remember, everything is connected, so I would not be surprised if they popped up and said hello. When you watching Gotham Knights, I have no plans to do so at this time. I've said this many, many times. I don't really have any... I have no current plans to watch this show or any new CW DC content for the time being. That's not something I'm already watching. If you've not heard the song Born Ready, well, this follows up in the last one. Search it up on YouTube. It is Gwen Stacy, Ghost Spiders theme from Marvel Rising. Okay, I might check it out. First Flash versus Flash with no powers. Who wins? Dude, I would probably have to go with Flash, because at least he's trained in normal combat in a lot of ways, and I don't know that scientist Thawne has ever really put that much thought into things. So I would probably go with Barry, especially if we're talking comic Barry. The Jack Black episode of The Mandalorian came out the same week as the Mario movie, and Jack Black voices Bowser in the Mario movie. Yeah, it was definitely a Jack Blacky week. That was for sure. Tom Cruise really told his body to stop aging, man. Get stronger every day. Does not look 60. It's all that behind the scenes Scientology bullshit that's keeping him alive. I don't know. I mean, he's finally starting to look older, because there was a long stretch where it looks like he didn't age at all. like, none. And I was like, I think it's finally getting some remnants of that showing up. But yeah, man, I would never guess he's 60. No spoilers for Avatar 2 and Ant-Man 3, please. Well, you might leave. I doubt it'll come up, but the spoiler the spoiler gate has lifted in the streams for anything outside of a week after a movie's release. Given we haven't talked about Avatar 2 or Ant-Man 3 since they came out, because there's not really a whole lot to talk about. But you brought it up, so beware. For new movies, I only ban spoilers for a week. So just be here at your own accord. What's up, Sean? Man, I always have questions for you in between the streams, and I never write them down. I, of course, always forget them when the stream starts. Me too, bro. Nah, it's completely understandable, man. It happens to me all the time. Not when I'm asking myself stuff, but I do that a lot in my spare time. Just hanging out talking to myself. What's up, Sean? When he posts his stream so early, I forget my questions. What? What? Lex Luthor going to SAL? Superman and Lois? Yeah, there was that little Lex teaser that came out. And I was right. He was in prison in those photos that were released. And I like to think that they're good questions, so it's annoying. Well, maybe they'll come back to you. How am I doing, though? I'm doing pretty good. I'm doing all right. I'm a little low on sleep at the moment, but I ran out before the stream, got some food, picked up this bad boy so that I can read it before the game comes out Friday. I mean, it's only 300 pages. I should be able to manage that. I originally got the audiobook, but those always end up taking me way longer to finish than if I actually make myself read it off of the page. I think it took me a year almost to finish a audiobook version of The Hobbit, which is the shortest one, man, and that's not good. Imagine Nintendo's cinematic universe. Since this movie was announced, I and many people were saying that's probably going to be the direction that it goes. And guys, make sure if you're hanging out, hit that like button. It helps the stream, man. But yeah, what would you guys want for the next project? You know, with the success of Mario, what would you want to see next, if just from a Nintendo perspective? Like, what Nintendo property would you want to see? I know most people, from what I've heard, have the go-to is Legend of Zelda, and I love that universe, so I always kind of want to say something else. I really want Star Fox, man. I really want Star Fox, and I could care. Honestly, while I would prefer Fox McCloud, I would also be very okay if they started off an origin story with his father, James, which was who the first game was centered around, was James McCloud. So if we want to do that, I would be totally okay with that. Or they could center it much like around that where he's already passed and shit, and do something cool with that. Kirby could be interesting. I don't know how much there is to mine there initially, but I think once you expand that out, it could be really fun. But we all know Legend of Zelda to be like, is probably the most requested one, and probably the one that makes the most sense. I just saw somebody mention Crash Bandicoot or Spyro. Neither of those are Nintendo. Hate to break it to you. Unfortunately. That ending of Power Rangers got me. Honestly, wouldn't mind if they continued that story on Netflix. Honestly, I wouldn't either. Or even, passed on to a new team on Netflix with Min being our introductory ranger. Like, maybe they finally pass on and we see a new group of Mighty Morphins, or maybe she comes up on, another property down the line. Yeah, it definitely wanted, it also like opens the door for more adult style Power Ranger stories, and I would love to see them kind of explore that more. Din, Omni-Chan, Din might die. The show, Moff dies. Hey, I based all that solely off of the actor's comments who plays the guy in the suit for Mando and the setup of the previous episode. But thankfully, that did not happen. What's up, mercenary? What's up, Ginger? You're good. I pulled something in my neck, so try not to move because it hurts. That happens to me like once a month anymore these days, man, and it sucks. Superman and Lois Lex Luthor going to be in episode 7. Yep, it's coming. Now that's been like a month, is it okay to talk about the D&D movie? Oh yeah, for sure. Like I said earlier, I only ban spoilers for new movies for a week. And that's only because they come out on weekends, while TV shows generally come out in the middle of the week, so it gives people time to people generally will have time to watch the shows and stuff, because they can do that, one, at their home, and two, like, so if we're doing a stream on Saturday, the day after a movie comes out, I just feasibly don't expect everybody to have seen the movie Thursday or Friday night. So I usually hold that off for a week. So everybody gets a weekend, the weekend release day, like the weekend of its release, free from spoilers, at least in our chats. And the gates after that, it is open season. Or the Minecraft and Pringles have a new flavor, and it's suspicious stew. No thanks to that. I don't know what that means. I have only ever played maybe 2 minutes of Minecraft. Also loving the curls. This is what happens when I don't actually blow dry my hair. Because if so, what's your favorite scene? Personally, I love the chase scene in the castle. That is definitely, I'd say, one of my favorite scenes. But it's hard to pick one. But some of my favorite scenes are any of the scenes that have the paladin in it. Because my God, did that crack me up, dude. Holy shit. It was so funny. Because they really knew how to play that character that everybody hates playing with, in a way. Not everybody. A lot of people like playing that type of character. And it can be fun. And it works into it. But they definitely, like, really played into that really well. So, I don't know. Maybe the scene where he shows up, or the scene where he says goodbye, you know, and they're, like, trying to get him to go with them. Because he would have broken the movie after that point. Guardians is coming up. It's what, 2 weeks away, 2.5 weeks away, something like that. They fly now. They fly now. You think there will be more Power Rangers specials going forward? I hope so, man. The thing was trending on Netflix for a hot minute. I mean, I don't expect it to be like a bang out thing that they've had, but like it's doing pretty good. I feel like it would have done better, and this isn't their fault because they tried if it was the whole original team, but you know, logistically, for a lot of reasons, they couldn't do that. You know, barring Jason David Frank, if they even just wanted to do the original 5, one's under arrest, and the other just didn't want to come, or wasn't able to, or turned it down for one reason or the other. But that's their own personal decision to have made. But I think they did pretty good, solid work with what they had, man. Subneutrino, Gotham Knights is so funny. Is it supposed to be funny? What shows you will be reacting to next? Well, I mean, you know, we got everything that we're going on right now. Visions comes out in 2 weeks. We've got, what else? I mean, we got, as far as new stuff coming around the corner, Visions is like the next new thing I know it's going to be coming around. And then, of course, in June or July is Secret Invasion. But outside of that, I don't really have anything else at the moment while I'm watching Dark or, you know, the Superman Lois, Flash, Titans. So we're kind of back to being primarily DC for the time being, but I'm trying to figure something out to fill in a little bit of that gap, but I don't know yet. I haven't made a decision yet. What's up, the bruh? How are you? Hello, sir. Omn1 Media. I like it. What's up, James Gunn? Welcome, welcome. I gave Gotham Knights 3 episodes and just no thank you. I did give it a shot, though. Fair enough. Did you see the Lex Luthor trailer of Superman and Lois? I did. I did. Love your content. I subscribed. Well, thank you, and welcome to the stream, and welcome to the channel. I can't see the comments on your screen. Am I on the wrong... Yeah, I'm on the wrong scene here. Whoop! There we go. My bad. My bad. Love your content, sir. Let's see. Welcome, the bruh. Hell yeah, welcome indeed. What's your favorite TV show opening themes and any new shows you're looking forward to this year? Favorite TV show theme. I mean, the X-Files theme is iconic, for one. And then you've got the Friends theme, which I think is just a delightful good old bop that I can listen to anytime. So, those two for sure. The X-Files is just iconic, and, you know, it's been co-opted by the current generation for, like, conspiracies in general or the Illuminati or whatever. And most people don't even know where it's actually from, but they've heard it. I don't know. For some reason, those are the only ones that come immediately to mind. As far as new shows, I mean, we got, like I said, Secret Invasion's coming up that I'm really looking forward to. Then we've got Star Wars Visions Volume 2 in 2 weeks, which I'm really looking forward to. Ahsoka later this year. Outside of that, I can't really remember too much at the moment. In case you didn't know, Omni, Bowser is the Simp King. Well, I mean, the games have always been very open about that, I feel like. I know some people were kind of surprised by that decision, and I was like, I feel like it's kind of been pretty clear that's always been the case. He's always kidnapping her. He's never trying to just take over her castle. He just, like, is running off with Peach. And then in Odyssey, he is straight up trying to marry her. That's, like, the entire thing. So, like, yeah, it just makes sense. What's up? It's been a while, Mikey. Just want to jump in the chat and say hello. Hope you're feeling much better from when you were sick. I am. Like, last weekend, I had, like, a fever. I was, like, almost about to hit 100. And, for, like, an evening. And then after that, the next day, it was like it just was gone. Finally. Still have a little bit of cough, but again, that's normal because of all the other shit I deal with. So I can never tell when that's because I'm sick or if that's just my normal state of being. But I'm doing pretty good right now. Doing pretty good. Thank you, and welcome. Hope you're having a good weekend. Watched the video from 3C Films. I was talking about the origins of the Cybertronian War, and how Prime and Megatron were friends and how they became enemies. Yes. There's a couple of different iterations of that. And of their relationship back then as well. It just depends on which one you're looking at. Because that's not 100% all of the times that they've done the origin, but that is a primary one. Also, can't wait for Godzilla x Kong 2. I am so confused by that teaser that came out. Because that's one it's a wholly original entity that they're advertising. That's supposedly going to come and take down Kong and Godzilla. And I'm like, no, I don't know if this is the way we want to go. But we'll see. I'll still watch it. I still love the MonsterVerse stuff, but we'll see. I mean, what are the things you're not liking in Superman and Lois Season 3 so far? You have to have some negatives, right? Just curious about your criticisms. I mean, I've said a few, and it's just that the only real criticism that I have for this season right now is And it's not really his fault. The new actor for Jonathan just isn't giving me the same vibes as I got from Jordan Elsass. And that's not his fault. He also, as an actor, you don't want to come in and copy somebody else's work, so he's trying to create his own version of the character. And it's fine. It's fine. But like what Jordan did with that character was just so good that, and just with the layers that he gave to that character, that I don't feel are being felt and expressed here, let alone the chemistry between him and, Alex. So, I mean, that's my only real major criticism. Everything else, I think the writing's been solid. I think the story so far has me hooked and intrigued. And the acting is just off the wall, real good. I don't know. I mean, I don't really have... That's really the only negative I can think of for this season. I have a lot of negatives about last season, but for this one, so far, I mean, we're still watching the story unfold. We're still barely into the season, so I'm just along for the ride right now. Avatar and Ant-Man came out a long time ago. Sorry. That is very true. Last episode of Titans was so good, but a shame on them for choosing Teen Titans Go instead of the better cartoon. Well, it's probably because it's on air, so, I mean, it's a big reason. They don't like to reference the old one because Cartoon Network and WB doesn't like to reference the old one. It's not really their fault. I don't think they really had an option, but it was still funny. I still liked what they did. It was, it is what it is, man. What's up, Druid? Just checked out the cast list for The Continental on IMDb, and yep, Mel Gibson's going to be in it. Wonder how people are going to feel about that. But yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I wouldn't say I'm excited for The Continental, but I'm looking forward to it. I like that universe. What episode for Superman and Lois when Lex returned? I don't know. Someone earlier said that it's episode 7, but I don't know. Jeff Johns wrote episode 9 of Titans. I knew the episode was way too good to be written by average Titans writer. Well, he only helped. The episode was written by Ryan Potter, and Jeff Johns was his assistant writer for it. So the actor playing Beast Boy wrote the episode and came up with the story idea. I mean, that's one of the big things that shocked me when I got to the end, and he made a whole post about it, how this was his writing debut for TV, film, or anything. It's the first time he's written a script for anything, and I thought, for a first draft, and with somebody like Jeff Johns looming over his shoulder to kind of help, make sure the ship doesn't steer off course or anything, turned out really damn good. And emotional. I don't think that show's got me to tear up once, and I got a little misty in that episode, man, not gonna lie. What's up, Funky Roses? Just want to say that I love Grogu. Have a great day. Always a great message to leave. We are massive supporters of our little favorite child from another galaxy, Grogu, here at this channel, man. Would you consider watching the other 2 How to Train Your Dragon movies in the future? I actually made a post about this yesterday. Yes, that is the game plan. I do plan on it. I don't know, Johns is usually a hit or miss. More miss than hit. I don't know. I don't know. Say what you will about him as a person. I think most of the time as a writer, he usually kind of nails it. I mean, fuck, dude. I don't think he missed at all in Stargirl. That's his bread and butter right there, though. It's weird that Michael Cudlett's Lex is so intimidating, but at the same time, he's been in prison for more than 2 decades. Usually Lex breaks out of prison after a few months or a year or 2. So does this mean that Superman and Lex have only fought once? Well, I mean, Superman's been, Superman for 20 years in this universe? It depends on how long Lex has been away. They could have fought many a time before that. And Lex usually, I mean, outside of a couple of things, usually isn't one to physically ever fight Superman, but they probably at least matched wits a few times up until this point. I want some Nintendo Avengers to get Star Fox and Link. Hell yeah. Now I'm wondering what Lex went to jail for in Superman and Lois universe. Maybe we'll get a flashback to it. Possibly. I'm sure they'll expand upon it. Bro, a Zelda movie would go hard. Yes, it would. It would definitely have a completely different tone than the Mario movie. So, because you definitely can't do what you did with Mario and apply that to every property. So I want to see how they adapt them each differently. Kirby, we got a Kirby, we got a Kirby, we got a Zelda, Star Fox. Hope you're well. Welcome, good vibes. Hope you're having a good weekend. And here's that one I called out, Mercenary here with Crash Bandicoot or Spyro. Both of those are PlayStation. As far as I recall, at least until recently, there was some ported stuff when they re-released Crash Bandicoot. I think it went multi-platform, but originally it was a PlayStation exclusive for almost a decade. Even probably more than a decade, from what I remember. Metroid, great one. Speaking of those promo photos, what is it with promo photos of Lex always being in prison? Jesse Eisenberg, John Cryer, now Michael Cudlitz all have their promo photos of Lex in prison. I never even put all that together. That is a funny little detail. I don't know. I don't know why that's a choice. Kirby or Pokemon? Well, we've kind of already had a Pokemon, but if they did like an animated one and centered it around this world, that would be pretty cool. I do hope that we get a Zelda and Kirby Mega Man. Mega Man, not Nintendo, but we could definitely go that route. We plan on see Evil Dead Rise. It was really good. As long as I can stay awake or I'm not exhausted, I'm going to be going tonight. Is my at least game plan. We got another Kirby. I want to know if Superman has fought any cosmic villains from his rogues gallery. I personally don't count multiverse as cosmic. I'm talking aliens, Mongol, Brainiac, maybe General Zod. They've mentioned General Zod. I'm pretty sure he's already fought Zod. But they have mentioned Zod at least once. Or maybe that was on Earth Prime. I don't remember right now. Again, I don't know what was kept and what wasn't. A dark Bomberman story just to get weird. Bomberman could be fun. Little Mac, that could be interesting. That could definitely be interesting. Dude, do some like, I know Sean mentioned this earlier, but do some like sci-fi alien style space horror with Metroid, man. That'd be fun. You think Zordon should have been resurrected at the end of the special? I kind of thought they were going to go that route. And leaving that open as like an open thread, I thought was weird if we're not ever going to follow up on it. So maybe if this isn't this ends up being the first of a series of specials, that could be cool. But otherwise, yeah, maybe. I do think that maybe that he should have succeeded in the end. Unpopular opinion, but I would like General Zod to be one of the main villains of Superman and Lois if it gets a season 4. I want to see the show's version of Zod. I kind of want to not do Zod again, personally. I want us to focus on villains we've not really done before as our primary focus. I would prefer Brainiac if I had the choice, or Mongol for that matter. Movie Zelda would be live action, the others 2 CGI animation. I wouldn't bank on any of these being live action. Just putting that out there. It wouldn't do as well. And it would probably, especially with what Nintendo's already done and their past experience with live action, they barely wanted to do this. So I wouldn't get anyone's hopes up for a live action Zelda. Watched all the Evil Dead movies for the first time this week. I gotta say, it's one of the most consistent horror franchises. Scream is also in that category. I've only seen the original Evil Dead movie, the reboot, and I'll be seeing the new one tonight. I haven't seen Evil Dead 2, and I haven't seen Army of Darkness, so I don't know. I'm glad Mando's series kept Bo-Katan alive. I hope she might appear in Ahsoka or Mando Season 4. Likewise. I love what they did with her character this season. On May 4th is Star Wars Visions and Guardians of the Galaxy, yes. Yep. Star Wars Day. What new shows are coming in May? I mean, the only new show I know is coming out is the next season or volume rather, of Star Wars Visions. I haven't really looked ahead all that much yet, so I'm gonna have to do some looking. If we do get Zod on Superman and Lois, maybe Callum Blue can reprise his role. Who is that? Callum Blue? Oh, dude, I barely remember him. That could be cool, but I would probably cast somebody else. Personally. DD movie was accidentally put on Paramount for a few hours yesterday, so if you had Paramount, you could have watched it yesterday. I thought it's supposed to be on Paramount Plus right now. Just regularly. I thought I saw something about it meaning to be on there. But maybe it was early, I don't know. Yeah, I canceled my thing, so I can't really check, apparently. But whatever. I'll take your word for it. I would like Superman and Lois to connect to Krypton TV show. Imagine that show. I've never watched it. That shows Zod and Brainiac versus Superman's Tyler's Superman. I've never watched Krypton, unfortunately. Have you ever seen Voltron? I've seen the original. Lots of the original. I've never seen any of the reboots or anything like that, though. I thought Pokemon was owned by Nintendo, as all the main Pokemon games are Nintendo only. They are. Pokemon is Nintendo. Don't we all? He is awesome. And cough, not bad to look at. Cough. Pokemon is indeed Nintendo. What's up, Darren? Welcome, man. How you doing? Really glad that Edgin and Helga be and stay platonic. Likewise. Are you watching CW's Gotham Knights? I don't know, you or somebody else asked that same question. Almost same word thing. No, I'm not. I am not watching it currently. We don't have enough of those relationships between opposite sex. That is very true. You know, I like it when things happen naturally, but I don't think every opposite sex duo in a show or movie should or have to end up as a couple by the end. Like, I don't think that's the... I like that they kept it that way there. Kind of random idea. A Lex Luthor series that explores his origin with a political thriller vibe to it would be great. That could be, if written well, that could be really interesting, that's for sure. I could get on board with that. If you're looking for recommendations, well, I'm not. No, I'm open to ideas, but at the end of the day, I'm gonna go with what looks most interesting to me. They could have used the 2017 movie actors in the Power Rangers movie for once and always. Fuck no. No. Then it would ruin it. It would completely ruin what it was. You can't do that. That's a big old fuck no for me. What's up, Darren? I'm doing pretty good, man. How about yourself? Dude, that thing with, listen, I've not watched a lot of RWBY. I watched like a little bit of season 1. I was a huge fan of Monty Ohm. back in the day, back in his early days on YouTube and his early work over there. But what I witnessed there was just, that was asinine. Their take on Batman. Oh, that borderline upset me when I saw that. Do you think DC should do more episodes like what Titans did this week? Only when it makes sense. I mean, you can't really just jam shit like that into every story. But I like seeing when that stuff happens, when it makes sense, and it makes sense there. And I like how they executed it. But yeah, for sure. If and when appropriate, of course. Do you see that they're going to make a Twilight show? I did. Yeah, like, why would they torture us and put us through that again? I don't know. We'll find out. We'll see. Because it's the new trend. It's the new trend. Will it be better, though? Is that a question? Is that a possibility? Nintendo Cinematic Universe Phase 1, Detective Pikachu. Mario movie, Zelda movie, Metroid, Mario 2, Star Fox, Detective Pikachu 2, Smash Bros. Movie. I would like them to do not Detective Pikachu in the Nintendo Cinematic Universe if they were to do one. I would prefer if they just did their own clean slate Pokemon story that they would use to connect to it all. Favorite Rocky/Creed movie? Rocky 2. Rocky 2. Hands down, Rocky 2. It's my favorite in the franchise. It's obvious. It's the Pokemon theme. The first one, of course. Still one of the best themes. Oh yeah, I didn't even think about that. But you're spot on. It's on my phone, man. Like, if it comes on, I will be a diva in the car, man. Black Sails theme is awesome. Never watched that. I've heard good things about it, but I've never seen that one. I feel like I'm crazy with how most seem to not like Mando Season 3 while I'm sitting there having a good time each week. Dude, it was so odd to me, and I still don't get it. And I tweeted about this the other day. It's like, I've seen some valid criticisms that I can see, but most of the complaints I've heard about the show, and this is from other people in the same sphere as me, who just come off like they didn't watch the show. They didn't pay attention. Or everything went over their heads, or I have no idea. Because I swear it comes off like I've watched a completely different show than some people. So like, I don't know. It's been hard. I pretty much stopped. I had to stop watching, except for save a few channels, their reactions, because it was honestly irritating. Because a lot of what was said didn't make sense. Like, and it's not even opinion based. Like, there were factual things about the show that was coming up in the conversations that were just wrong. And I just couldn't handle it anymore, because once people get a thought in their idea, and with social media, there's no real way to like have a conversation. And it was just, I had to just stop. This, which is sad, because I always look forward to seeing how other people are reacting. And outside of Blind Wave and Kyle Katar and this go around, I pretty much had to stop watching people. I mean, time was a factor, but yeah, that was a weird feeling. Since Superman and Lois keep dealing with heavy topics, for example, Season 1's anxiety with Jordan, cults in Season 2, and cancer in Season 3, what would you want to see handled next? I don't know. I really don't know. I don't like putting shit out there into the world like that in a lot of ways, but I don't know. I can't. See, I just, off the cuff, I can't really just think of things like that, because like, I never know what they're going to tackle. And when they do, I'm always surprised by how they handle it. And I just like going on the ride, but I don't know. Grief? I don't know, but I also don't want anybody to die. So I don't know. I really don't. Sorry. Peaches, 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 peaches. Phase 2. A bunch of sequels. Splatoon. I liked Splatoon as a game. I don't know if I would like it any better as a movie, though. How do you feel about the new Flash episode? What do you mean? It's not out yet. We haven't had Flash in 2 weeks. And if you want my thoughts on the last episode, go check out my reaction to it. I had fun with the last episode, but aside from that, the next episode's not out yet. But I'm excited for it because I know what's in it. People whining at Mario for being woke now because Peach are so annoying, man. Sounds like they never played Mario 2. Sounds like they never played Mario 2 or any of the spin-off games. I do admit it was a little excessive sometimes. It was a little in your face at times, more than it probably needed to be, but again, it didn't bother me at all because it's also not unusual if you've actually played the Mario games. Yeah, so the second anybody even uses that word, their opinion and their statement becomes invalid to me. I watched Stargate, The Ark of the Truth, and I forgot about Kratos. The God of War voice actor was in it. The entire movie was good. Interesting. Cool, cool. So like Christopher Judge, I believe, the current one or the original? Like, that's not woke. Woke would be if Bowser kidnapped Mario or Luigi for once to marry him. I mean, no, it is. You could validly make that what they were intending there, that. Because it's not just that. I mean, like, you know, gender inequality or balancing falls under that same tent pole, but I don't feel like that was, I don't know. Like, that would also be in there, for sure, but you could, there could be an argument made for what was done with Peach, but again, yeah, it's stupid. It's a stupid thing to get upset about. I catch up on comics through Cosmic Storian. His channel is so good. To catch up on the latest comics, I recommend watching his Flash 1 Minute War. It's a recent story about the speedster aliens versus the Flash family. I saw some promo stuff for the 1 Minute War and looked pretty interesting. But that's the kind of what I do as well. I don't have the time or money to just keep up with comics because it's just impossible for me. So most of the time I just read like recaps of everything that happened. That's how I keep on top of everything. For sure. Power Rangers was just Walt's unnecessarily cool, random explosions in the background, epic music blasting, characters yelling while they were punching baddies. Y'all. What? What are you talking about here? I don't know. I don't know what you're trying to say here. That would be hilarious to see. Indeed. More of the same stuff, except Splatoon 2, a Yoshi movie, which is unnecessary. You don't need a Yoshi movie. Yoshi is already in Mario. You don't need to do that. That's bloat. Fire Emblem, that could be interesting. Be very different from everything else, though. The King teaser looked cool. The King teaser looked cool. But I don't know what's going on with some blue-eyed monkey going to kill King Kong and Godzilla. Yeah, I don't know. I really don't know either. I have no idea. I like Continuum better. But then again, I always liked time travel stories. I have no idea what you're talking about there. I don't have a criticism, but I fear that they won't stick the landing on Bruno Mannheim. I know he's doing evil things, but I think they need to deal with him the same way Lana dealt with releasing info about the mayor to the public. Maybe putting Bruno in jail would harm Hobbs Bay, and Lois could give up on that, and that would be a conclusion I could want. Like, maybe there's some middle ground that they could find, some good that they can come to together, possibly. Hot take, Teen Titans Go isn't a bad show, it's just targeting a very different audience and generation of viewers. Agreed. I enjoy what I have seen, and the movie is one of the best things DC's made. Like, if we're talking animated movies. Like, Teen Titans Go to the movies, God, that movie had me splitting at the sides, man. My biggest problem with it is they canceled the original to make that show. And it was done against the will of the writers and against the will of the cast. But that's my problem with it, and I can never forgive that. But it is what it is. You got the show, Teen Titans Go. How funny would it be if these shows came out in that order? That would be weird if they came out in that reverse order, like slowly getting less serious. The only things I don't like about season 9 of The Flash was one of the Red Death storylines was meh. 2, I want to see Cisco and aka the Vibe. 3, there were a few things that don't so far. That is just par for the course of The Flash right now, man. I agree with you. The Red Death thing was underwhelming as fuck. And if we end the show and Cisco doesn't come up at all or show up at all, I will be vastly disappointed. Thought so, but I didn't want to say something wrong. Ryan was great. I'm really glad he's got his chance. Yes. One thing I noticed with Superman and Lois is that John has a day job, finishing school, and will be an intern fireman. Jordan is a superhero. John seems to be getting his future life set up, but Jordan, not so much. I believe you or somebody else said something very, very similar to this last weekend as well. And it's very true. Jordan isn't really living the normal life, while Jonathan is being able to disconnect and focus on building something grounded for himself outside of the family and the shenanigans that they get up into. And I'm very curious to see what the benefit of that's going to be. Do you think Jinx will return by the time of the finale? Maybe. I would like that, but I don't know. I really don't. I can't say. Thomas, I don't need any more of your cinematic multiverse Nintendo stuff, dude. I simply just wanted, like, your recommendations for what to do next, not a whole, like, roadmap. Stargirl is really good, especially season 2 made me appreciate the characters more. I agree with that. A lot of people in the comment section were confused why John Cryer isn't playing Lex. It seems the general audiences still have no idea the show is an Arrowverse. Some people think it's Cryer, but recast. And they already sent that message out there into the world, and I do kind of get it, because they have reused some actors. Like, David Ramsey is still Diggle. The fact that there's still a Diggle on this earth, which was retroactively done because the show started off in the Arrowverse and they just changed their minds later. But I can understand why some people would be like, well, we're using these people, why are we not using this person? Because he did do good, and I would like to see John Cryer do a serious Lex. You know, a very different Lex, but I also get why we recast, so it's understandable, I think. That's the problem with Superman and Lois. Its origins and its progression is wrapped in confusion, uncertainty, and muddiness because of everything that was happening behind the scenes while it was unfolding. Sad enough. That one Squid Shooter game is Nintendo. That's what Thomas mentioned earlier. Splatoon. What has Jeff Johns missed on? I can't think of anything. Honestly, like when that comment was made, I honestly can't think about anything either. Specifically, at least. Imagine a Super Smash Brothers movie, and all the characters need to be established first for that to work. I think that's kind of what we've all been talking about here for a hot minute. He did on Earth Prime. I don't think they have said either way on Earth, Todd. What's that about? I don't remember what this comment would have been tied into as far as the conversations. Oh, Zod. Zod. Right. I think you're right. After seeing all these various Lex Luthors with facial hair, it makes me wonder why all Lexes don't have facial hair. It only makes sense for him to be completely bald when he gets cancer. I mean, in most storylines, it's the radiation from, you know, Smallville, the radiation from Kryptonite, all kinds of different excuses for why he unnaturally goes bald, because in most cases, he unnaturally goes bald and he just doesn't grow hair at all, even facial hair. So it has been an interesting choice here recently. But yeah, I get you. What's up, Ghostblade? We're doing well, man. Love your reactions to Once and Always. I'm glad you enjoyed it. I'm glad that second version of it is still up and hasn't been taken down, at least yet. So crossing my fingers, man. They did remaster all the Spyro games for Nintendo Switch. That made me so happy. It was a great port, but I want an Animal Crossing movie. I don't know what that would look like. Those slice of life movies, I don't know what that would look like, but that could be cool. But yes, like Spyro, like I said, Spyro and Crash eventually, when they were remastered, went cross-platform, but they are not Nintendo's to license. Nintendo can't license those characters themselves because they're not owned by Nintendo or under the Nintendo umbrella. Because in that same vein, you could put The Witcher on there using that same kind of approach, or Leon from Resident Evil, you know. So like it's not quite the same blanket there. Titans CGI in episode 9 was really good. It was also, yeah, it was pretty good. A lot of the effects in that episode worked very well for it. I like evil Superboy. I don't know why people hate him. Where'd that come from? Oh, from Titans. Oh no, I don't. It was cute for a minute, but he's just annoying. His plans don't make any sense. Like he's literally, I know he's still technically a toddler in how long he's been on this planet, even though he's got the brain of a supercomputer. But the whole thing they're doing with his genetics, his understanding of his own self, and his plans, they make no sense, man. They are logically unsound. But I can't stand Connor this season, man, personally. Also, for Once and Always, the fact that 2 Monsters of the Week took on multiple Ranger teams and won is insane. It's those robo upgrades, man. They did some performance enhancing work on those two. I thought the same thing, and maybe they were caught off. We don't know that every team was fully united. We didn't know if it was like a 2v5, or maybe they caught them separated while they were trying to handle all the putties. They could have picked them off one at a time. We don't know. But yeah, it did cross my mind when I was watching it. Have I seen the Super Mario Brothers live action film? I have. I grew up with it. I was the target audience for that movie when it came out. I had it on VHS. I've seen it many, many, many times. Yes, and it has not ever aged well. Dude, it barely aged well when it came out, to be honest. Most video game movies don't do well, but recently they've done not too bad. It's all about that execution and finding your audience, man. The Megazord fight looked good, even if they used stop animation for it. It was CGI. I don't think it was stop animation, but yeah. I think it looked okay. I mean, a lot of the current shows just do CGI monster and Zord battles anyway these days, but even some of those look better than what they did on this one. But I didn't mind it at all, but it did have me a little remiss because I do think the dudes in suits do look better, but that would be a little more difficult to pull off. The animation for it because they used the toys to do that scene, which explains why they didn't get the special effects for the final strike. Chop chop. Mario and Uncharted were fun. Mortal Kombat was disappointing, but Kano and Scorpion were really great, and the gore was cool. Yeah, it's been a little mixed here lately, but we're seeing things start to kind of trickle upwards. TV Line YouTube channel, Grant Gustin interview where he was saying episode 9 is the biggest episode of the season, more bigger than the series filler? You mean finale or I would hope it's bigger than the filler. I mean, I know what is in episode 9. I mean, they released a trailer for it. I didn't react to it because I already knew, so there's really no point. But like, episode 9 is the only episode of this season I've been waiting for. So I'm really looking forward to the next episode. Silo might even be interesting. Comes out in May, starring Rebecca Ferguson, Ian Glenn, and Will Patton. I haven't heard of that. one. Krypton was amazing. I don't think any DC show coming this fall. Maybe you could react. Possibly. I do want to watch it eventually. It's just finding the right vibe to enter it is really kind of the main thing. Is the music on 2x speed? Holy shit, it is. Oh god, that's probably sounded wild. Whoopsie. So, my bad. Thanks for catching that. Whoops. Yeah, I don't think there's no DC shows coming out in the back. I mean, Doom Patrol, we still haven't got a release date for the final 6 seasons of Doom Patrol. But who knows? What's up, Real Eric? Thank you for the super chat, man. Just got home from work and it's time to drink some Malbec. What are you drinking tonight? I've got some honey whiskey with added honey because I'm a bitch. Welcome. Hope you're having a good weekend. Glad you got home from work. I'm just crossing my fingers, and maybe this is gonna jinx it, that I don't get a call this weekend because I'm on call all weekend. So hopefully nothing comes up in the middle of our stream. Where'd my place go? Here we go, Krypton. So yeah, we still have Doom Patrol coming out, and Krypton's a show that I really do want to get into when I find the time for it and the vibe for it. It has an exclusive contract with Nintendo. Oh, whoops, I skipped a comment. Well, Pokemon is owned by the Pokemon Company, has an exclusive contract with Nintendo. That's fair. That's fair. You're missing out on Krypton. It was really good. I think Detective Pikachu was a video game movie. The credits looked like a video game in that movie. It is. I mean, there's a Detective Pikachu video game. And by extension, it's Pokemon, which is a video game in and of itself. But it is an adaptation of the first Detective Pikachu game. So yes, it does qualify. Final predictions for Jedi Survivor. I mean, I don't really have any. Other than the guy is clearly from the High Republic. I can't tell you jack shit else about what might be happening in the game. Secret Invasion's in June. I believe it's June. Stargate SG-1. We'll see. We'll see. Jedi Survivor has a trophy. Cobra Cow! You gotta kill X amount of enemies while wearing a headband. That's hilarious. Neil Gaiman said, Dead Boy Detectives, the Berlanti show is now part of his Sandman universe. I did read that, and that elevated my excitement for that show. Because once I learned that it wasn't going to be the kids from showed up in Doom Patrol, and that it wasn't going to be tied to the Doom Patrol show, like that universe, I lost interest. But it being part of the Sandman universe has reignited that interest. Given your love of Power Rangers, even if it's only a few seasons, a movie trailer released recently called Knights of the Zodiac. I think you'd enjoy it. It's based on an anime from 1985. I know of the anime Knights of the Zodiac. I saw a poster that was of Knights of the Zodiac, but it had like people. I wasn't sure if that was fan-made or not. Maybe that's what that was for. I mean, I could look into it. I mean, Power Rangers is one of the reasons I like G-Force, why I liked Voltron growing up. And there was a couple of other shows around that time that was very similar. The early Kamen Rider series, hell, VR Troopers, if anybody remembers that. Beetleborgs, which honestly I loved as a kid. I tried to relive that nostalgia once it was on Netflix, and I can't. It's unwatchable to me now, though. But yeah, I'll have to take a look into that. It was just a prank, bro. I don't even remember what we were talking about, man. I don't remember what that was for. But who are some bands you think everyone should know about? Linkin Park, Skillet, Metallica, Korn, Cher, not a band, but a performer. Chicago, AC/DC. I'm just listing off some of my favorite bands here. I know there's a lot, but I'm trying not to just focus in on. Just pull up my phone. One of my favorites, Alvin and the Chipmunks. Boston, Breaking Benjamin, one of the first bands I ever saw. I liked some Disturbed. Evanescence. Green Day, Guns N' Roses. Incubus is good. See, are we counting like individual artists? Because I can go for some Gaga, man. I already said Metallica. Offspring. Pat Benatar. A Goddess. Chili Peppers. Rise Against is also one I really, really love. I'm just kind of scrolling. Some I'm just like, meh. I'm just rolling past. I like a song or two, but those all, like, I really like most of their stuff. The red is kind of like the Speed Force, and we've already had 3 more Force Sages. Strength still, so many forces. Well, the red is separate from the forces. The red, the green are different from the forces that govern the world. Similar idea, different entities, different embodiments. I like to say you can hardly do worse, but I know it's possible, so. The Office theme is nice. I don't even know the Office theme. I've only seen like 1 episode ever. I know, but it's so annoying. There's so many good stories out there just waiting to be adapted. Annoying complaints kind of felt like nitpicks and not paying attention to certain details. I kind of agree with that. What's up, Caters? Hope you're having a good weekend. What's up, Marcus? What's the worst feeling when you're enjoying something but everyone else... Oh, that's the worst feeling. When you're enjoying something but everybody else is hating it and it's confusing. Watching the show wrong or other people are watching the show wrong. I know, man. It's rough. I hated it. I've actually had to stop following people on Tumblr due to the raging at Mando Season 3, so I feel you. I don't get it, man. I just don't. Surprised the Twilight Saga is being rebooted. It was incredibly successful from a box office perspective and made $3.3 billion. Because they want to cash in on that same shit again, see if they can recapture that money. W pick. I also agree, Rocky 2 is the best in the franchise. Hell yeah. I think it just encompasses everything great about Rocky as a character all in one film, man. Good answer. Grief Karga, if you will. Mando Season 3 was great. I don't get it either why peeps didn't like it. What more does these people want? Honestly, I think it was better written than Season 2. Like, I don't understand it at all. I personally feel like it was written way better than Season 2. Like, Season 2, I think, had a very strong through line with their mission to find the Jedi. But, but I think overall, like, just the cameos carried it so much. I don't know. That may be a hot take, but that's kind of how I feel. Arrow did some heavy stuff too. Thea did drugs. A lot of people died. Oliver was tortured. And then back flashes for 5 seasons. CW likes their serious moments. Very true. I'm with you. Stop reading the second book shows up in a conversation. Agreed. I'm on the final episode of season 6 of Game of Thrones. Episode 9 was insane. Hell yeah, making some progress. Now, this is a badly worded joke. They definitely throw a bigger temper tantrum, for sure. One of the things I really appreciate about Superman and Lois is that they don't always go for the easy drama in the story. Sometimes they do, season 2, a couple times, but not always. See, even in season 2, I don't really feel like they really went for low-hanging fruit all that much. But yeah, that's one thing I always credit the show for is they avoid the things that most shows would just bite right at, just for some easy drama in their story to shake things up, and they always turn it around in a great way. Sorry, I'm not very funny. I just didn't understand, I guess. It's all good. Have I seen Andromeda? It's a pretty good show. I have not. Dude, like, I've not seen so many of those sci-fi shows growing up. I wasn't real, outside of Star Wars, I wasn't a sci-fi kid. Star Wars, like, the closest thing I got into that was even slightly science fiction related. That wasn't, I guess, Alien or Predator, to be fair, but I consider them more horror than anything, more monster feature than anything. Imagine if the CW cameo in the Flash movie is Cecile. I swear if I go into the Flash movie and I hear her, I'm just going to I'll just burn the place down, fuck it. I'm kidding, obviously, but I would probably slam my head into the floor. The comment about Continuum was about Stargate, and the first part seems to have been eaten by the chat, as it loves to do with you for some reason. I agree with what you said about reactions for Mando Season 3. I had to stop watching a few of them, or at least I don't stick around for the discussion, but yours, Blind Way previewed. I watched full. Hell yeah. And I get, like, I don't know, hopefully, I know Jay's streaming right now, so hopefully it doesn't pop in the chat, but, like, I like the reaction and stuff like that, but while they enjoyed it, they also missed a lot. God damn it. So it was like, they were like right on that line for me too. Like, some of their commentary after the episode, while they enjoyed the episode, they were saying things I'm just like, but that was in the episode. And I was like, what the fuck? But they at least weren't hating on it. But again, it came down to a lot of people I was watch the show didn't know what they were watching, and I was like, I don't understand it. So I was very conflicted there. I was like, okay, they liked it. They didn't understand it, but they liked it. I was like, what the? God damn. That was a weird feeling again. I love those two, man. I love those two. What's up, Kang? I'm actually excited for the next episode of The Flash because we got some returning characters. Please don't screw this up, Eric, dude. I am right there with you. Eric Wallace he just better not fuck this up, man. The Cecile Cinematic Universe. God, no. Crisis on Infinite Ceciles. Your Cinematic Universe Nintendo sounds great. Have you thought about making a video pitch about it? Go for it. Does John Diggle have the Green Lantern ring? No, not anymore. I did not understand why The Flash had 2 filler episodes in a row after Red Death storyline ended. Like, this is the final season. You seriously need filler in an 11-episode season. There are contractual reasons and production reasons behind that. And I say contractual reasons and production reasons for separating some of the characters, the storylines, and to make sure they utilize their budget properly. Because, yeah, it is what it is. And it's not it's a 13 episode season, I thought. But, yeah. Is Captain Falcon Nintendo? He is. He is. Theoretically, John Cryer Lex could escape from the Phantom Zone and accidentally arrive on Superman and Lois' Earth. Imagine that. 2 Lex Luthors teaming up and Tyler gets his Arrowverse version to help. That could be fun. Are there TV shows that you would love to cross over? I'm thinking about The X-Files and Doctor Who. It'd be random, but fun. Dude, I've talked about this a lot before. I would fork out cash for X-Files and Stranger Things to cross over. I know the timelines don't quite add up, but you could definitely mix and match them with a young Mulder if you like carried the show out into the early 90s. I mean, Mulder, technically, if we're using the exact dates, if the shows took place at the same time, Mulder is studying at Oxford while all this shit is going on. So he's not an agent yet. But X-Files tonally would match up so good with Stranger Things and the shenanigans going on there. Oh yeah, just remember, Jeff Johns co-wrote Wonder Woman 84 with Patty. That movie was awful. No offense to Patty, but I feel like she probably had 80% control over that writing. I don't think he was a co-writer. I think he, like, on many DC properties that came out of the DCEU, was an executive producer. I don't recall him actually having a writing credit on that movie. I was under the impression she had full creative control over the story itself. You're right. You're right. Story by Patty Jenkins and Jeff Johns. Screenplay by Patty Jenkins, Jeff Johns, and Dave Callahan. Now, they could have, like with this Titans episode, just been there from a supervisory standpoint, because I do recall she had full creative control on what that movie was going to be. So they could have just got credit for suggestions, ideas, and stuff like that, because that happens when the script's being developed. But as far as I know, at the end of the day, it was all the creative decisions came down to a yes or no from Patty. So I don't know. That's a little bit of a mixed one right there, but I don't know. Was Wonder Woman really that bad though? It wasn't good, but it wasn't that bad. It was pretty bad. Like, it was enjoyably bad, but it was pretty bad. In my opinion. I know some people liked it, but yeah. Oh, by the way, did you end up watching the reactor Ashley Burton? I really like her. She's funny to me. I haven't. I subscribed, but I haven't had a chance to watch any of her stuff yet. Yes, but there were 22 plus episodes in those seasons. It makes sense that there would be some filler, but if you have a shorter season, there should be less filler. Well, again, they also had a budget cut for their episode count. So if they want to close out the show strong, they'd have to make some dud episodes. Again, contractually, they had to give some actors more of a break, more leeway, and spread things out across them. So they break up what they can to divvy it out. Just because the season's smaller doesn't give them the benefit of being able to do anything out when they're getting screwed over by CW and WB. What's up, Arias? Found you through your Sandman reactions. What's my favorite episode and why is it The Sound of Her Wings? It is The Sound of Her Wings. I think that is my favorite episode. And am I excited for the second season? Fuck yes, I am. I'm excited so I can continue reading it, because I've got the entire comic run. After finishing season 1, I ordered the entire run of the comic, but I've only read up to what's been adapted so far. So I want season 2 to come out so I can read more. Evil Superboy is just being an annoying smart guy who's really rude to people. He's really smart, but he's also really fucking dumb. He's really fucking stupid. Sandman is lit. Yes, indeed it is. It'd be really surprising to me if Bizarro, Lana, Jonathan, Allie come back, because I'm not expecting them to return at all. I would highly doubt it. I would highly doubt we see any more Bizarros. Imagine a multiversal crossover, Super Smash Brothers, Sonic, and Steve from the Minecraft movie. Well, Sonic and Steve are in Super Smash already, so it's doable. It's so weird that next week's episode of The Flash is directed by Daniel Panabaker. Episode 10 by Eric Wallace. Oh, interesting. Episode 11 by Allegra. Really? Why not get season 1 directors to direct? I don't know, man. I don't know. I mean, it is what it is. You work with who you work with. And we're finally caught up to that comment. Yo. Fix the music. Thank you, Rebecca, for pointing that out. I thought we were just having a party. Wine with Omni, rave at it. Yeah, goddamn. Well, the music was helping me wake up this gloomy Sunday morning here. I mean, should I just... You guys want it at 2x speed? Did you guys prefer it that way? I can switch it back. Fair point. Let's see. Bidet. It'd be cool if the CW cameo in The Flash was Stephen Amell Spector. Oh, that would be what I want it to be Grant, but I would also be totally okay with that. Watched Evil Dead Rise last night. Was curious if you like the Evil Dead franchise. If not, would you like to consider watching? I actually just talked about this earlier. I plan on going and seeing it later tonight. I've seen the first movie and I've seen the reboot. I've not seen Evil Dead 2 or Army of Darkness, but I liked the first movie. I love the reboot, and I thought the trailer looked really good for this one, so I'm excited to check it out. Troopers, transform. We are VR. I remember that. Also remember after JDF's Green Ranger got written off, I did a few episodes on VR Rangers, and Brad Hawkins for VR did the voice of the Gold Zeo precast. Yeah, originally weren't the roles supposed to be reversed? JDF was supposed to be the lead on VR Troopers, and then something happened and they switched roles when the shows were in production. I can't remember. Bands everyone should know is obviously Queen. Listen, I like some Queen, but hot take, Queen's a little overrated to me. Don't kill me. Actually, since you've been seeing Beetleborgs, how thrown off were you when the Beetleborgs showed up in Forever Red as Machine Empire Generals? Dude, that confused the fuck out of me. I was like, are they canon? Were they taken over? What happened here? Why are they reused? What is going on? Dude, my teenage brain was frying when that happened. Hell yeah, Pat Benatar. Everything eventually going to be rebooted. Eventually, yes. Is it me, or does every Batman reboot, minus George Clooney, make Batman kind of better? You got good action from Batfleck, good comic book accuracy from Twilight. Oh my god, Twilight? I've not heard that one. Epic Rogue Gallery from Christian Bale. They all have a piece of the puzzle, but I don't know. I feel you on that. It's progressively gotten better. Well, I would argue the Clooney stuff was a downgrade though. We was like up, bah, and then started to come back up. Cecile comes. Okay, imagine the scene from the trailer where the two Barrys are up there and Keaton comes out of his cave and they're like, wait, you're? And he's like, you're right, I'm. And then you just hear, before he could finish the sentence, she goes, you just hear, wait. And everybody just like, was like, what the fuck? And they look over and Cecile's standing there on like her own catwalk and he's like, and she says, he's Batman. I would flip it. Also, I didn't like Jeff's Superman run, like a good chunk of it. Sorry, I'm listening to you while organizing my shelves. I saw Superman comics, and that made me think of that. I don't think I've dabbled in any of that. So, to be fair, that's fair. Fair. Everyone hating on the sequel, Solo, Book of Boba Fett. I knew it was only a matter of time when peeps would eventually turn on Mando as well, and here we are. Yep, I only watch Blind Wave Flash, Blind Wave's Flash and Superman reactions. No offense to Blind Wave, but they do need to realize the show is called The Flash, not Legends of Tomorrow. It shouldn't wrap up Legends storyline. I know we've talked about this. I did. Again, I don't. They do. They should. Not as a whole episode, not as an arc, but there should just be a line, something. I agree in some fashion with any sentiment of that. I think Flash, regardless of its final season or whatever, has an obligation to the entire universe to go out on that in some way and honor everything that came before. I stand by that, but I know that's not going to be everybody. That's just my personal opinion. 3 Jokers and his Teen Titans are objectively god-awful. Fair. I haven't read those, so I can't say. Legends was an okay show. I like Legends. It was fun. I liked the first 2 seasons, and from there, it just kind of went downhill, though. Previewing Missing Something was a bit funny, though. It wasn't annoying like the others. Their Ahmed episode discussion was memorable and hilarious. Yeah, man, it was something. It definitely was something. That's for sure. It was fun. It was a fun annoying. I'll say that. Legends only had one good season, in my opinion. It was the season with the Legion of Doom. I think the first season was really good. I liked the first 2 seasons, and from there, like I said, I think it went down. I once read a Stargate MCU fanfiction crossover, and it was so good, I read it every year. No, I don't really read fanfictions, ever. That's cool. At least Legends was pretty consistent in quality, though. Seasons 2 through 6, you knew what you were getting, unlike other CW shows. That's one thing I at least can credit Legends for. Even if it wasn't like as good as it was in seasons 1 and 2, from that point onward, you kind of like always knew what you were going to get. So I know some people see Arrow, Flash, Supergirl as the main 3 on CW, but I see Arrow, Flash, and White Canary as the main 3. I don't, only because White Canary was and primarily until Legends, just an offshoot Arrow character. So it was more at that point, still a side character. No, as your pillars, it was definitely Flash, Arrow, and Supergirl. I didn't think WW84 was bad. I quite liked it, and not because of Pedro. Pedro was one of the things I really did enjoy that movie, though. Will not even lie. And Chris Pine, it's hard to make Chris Pine not charismatic as hell, but they managed a way to make it creepy. That's for fucking sure. Last episode of Mando got me thinking about the ultimate crossover, the Wickalorian. Where do I sign up? That would be fucking wild, dude. Dude, when's John Wick? God damn it. When's Keanu Reeves going to be in a Star Wars? Let's do it. Dadalorian was a weird casting him as a DC villain. Blind White finished Sandman today. I'm going to miss Sandman reactions. Did they watch episode 11? I haven't seen that yet. Because I was watching your boy Roshi's. Yes, they did. Thank God. I was really enjoying your boy Roshi's run through Sandman. That was a really fun group reaction, but they never watched the 11th episode. And it's like still mildly a little frustrating. Maybe he casted Pedro as a villain due to his role in Kingsman franchise. I forgot about that. Then again, I tried to tune out that movie because the second Kingsman I didn't really enjoy all that much. You know, Robert Kirkman, who made The Walking Dead and did The Invincible show, and Stephen Yeun get brutally beat up by a man with a mustache. That is true. Blind Wave are positive guys, but even they are saying Flash Season 9 sucks. I mean, it's not great. It's not the best. It's okay. It's better than Season 7. But it's, as a finale, they're not hitting that stride yet. But I've been trying to find the good in each episode. And, sometimes it's at the cost of that episode. And I think I've just know what to expect from Eric Wallace anymore. And I'm hoping these last 5 episodes, these last 4 or 5 episodes, whatever it is right now, are better, are good, and that they've been, the reason the Red Death stuff sucked and we had 3 filler episodes was so they could save their budget to make the set photos I've seen pictures of already look awesome. We'll see. Let's try 4 times speed. YouTube won't do 4 times, unfortunately. I beg of you. No. Why would you speed it up? I don't know. I mean, I usually watch some podcasts and some videos at 2 times speed just so I can catch up with everybody's videos. So I listen to people's like discussions at 2 times speed to just kind of get through the video. I've seen Ted Lasso. It's fantastic. I've heard great things about it, but it doesn't seem like it's my kind of show. Ted Lasso, Severance, Mythic Quest are the only reasons to get Apple Plus. Yeah, I've subscribed to Apple Plus for. I did a trial just to watch the greatest beer run ever for that reaction, but I haven't watched any of the shows over there yet. Eric Wallace is making the show for himself. I think that's a good, accurate statement. That's for sure. Ted Lasso is about a goofy soccer coach and his life. I've heard about it. I haven't seen it, though. Fun fact, Catherine Sutherland and Walter Jones returned to lend their voices for 2 of the recycled Beetleborgs in Forever. I know Walter voiced the green-looking one. Really? I didn't know that. I didn't know that, actually. Have you seen the Mission Impossible movies yet? Again, like I've said quite a few times up until this point, I've seen the first 3. I have not seen anything after Mission Impossible 3. I agree about one episode where they were saying that there should be a whole Legends arc. Yeah, no. Dude, it's the Flash, man. You can have him time travel and break them out in a 5-minute scene. That's all you need. That's all you need. Hell, you could just give me I would be satisfied with just a throwaway line that the Legends were arrested, but they escaped. That's it. That's all I would need. All I would need, and I would be completely happy, is just a line. Because we know Batwoman got out of her shit with whatever that zombie radioactive creature was. That apparently wasn't a huge deal, because they're still running around kicking. Legends, at least, like, just give me a throwaway line. Like, you could even have it come from Nora if it's in the future or whatever. Just have Nora or Bart just be like, oh yeah, don't worry about them. They break out or something like that. They figure that out. Just something to tell me whatever. That's it. We cleared that up. You know, something like that. What's up, Ragu? Showing up late. Hope you're doing well. Just got back from seeing the Mario movie. Was a good time. I'm glad you enjoyed it. I really enjoyed it. Legends 1 is a cool story, bringing the side characters, superheroes, being main characters to save the world. And 2 was pretty good. Rest are odd. Yup. I'll give you a pass for thinking Queen is overrated cause I like you. You said the other another one of my faves, Green Day, who are amazing live. So I've only seen a handful of bands live. I've seen Godsmack live. I've seen Breaking Benjamin live. They opened for Godsmack. That was before they went mainstream, I think. I didn't know who they were at the time, but I found that out later. I've seen Korn live. At the very same concert as Korn, there was also Powerman 5000, Seven Dust, Chevelle, and a few others that I just can't remember. I've seen Cher live, and I believe that is it. Yes. Oh, did you see that Dylan Is Trouble did a reaction to the first Captain America? He's so funny. Still can't believe that man watched Endgame without watching a second of Captain America. I did. We watched that video last weekend, I believe, and it was hilarious. For not like your traditional reactor kind of thing, he's so fucking hilarious, man. And he's only in his 20s. Fucking that gag, man. What's up, Tharuka? Welcome. Just came in here to say hi. Well, hi back to you. Brother Blood on Arrow was better than the Titans version. Comic accuracy doesn't mean good all the time. Titans version is comic accurate, but he's so boring and done nothing yet. I like his arc in the first part, but yeah, he's done absolutely nothing yet. We only have 3 episodes left. They've taken too much of their time with him. I really liked his dynamic and what they were doing in the first part and the stuff with him and Raven. I liked all of that. It sympathized the character for me in a way that I've never liked Brother Blood. However, we have not done anything with it since. Your boy Roshi is a funny reaction channel. Yeah, those guys crack me up, man. I remember Keanu Reeves mentioned in an interview how the MCU constantly tried to ask him to sign on, and he said no, but he was open to being Ghost Rider, which would be cool. That could be fun. I would just be happy to see him pop up anywhere, really. What's up, Noel? CinemaCon almost ready. Include Marvel Phase 5, Phase 6, Sony panel, Warner Brothers, DC panel. Yeah, CinemaCon's going on right now, isn't it? Or has been going on. What'd you think about the rumors of Adam Driver as Reed Richards? I mean, that'd be fine. Wouldn't be my first pick, but it'd be fine. Pedro was freaking awesome in Kingsman 2 as Agent Whiskey. Well, he was good. The movie I just didn't enjoy all that much. For as much as I enjoyed the first film, I thought the second one was extremely disappointing. But we're getting a third one. I still haven't seen The King's Man yet. Pedro was great in the movie, but his character was not good. Maxwell Lord. That's not his fault, obviously. But it could be better. Didn't watch Flash at all this season. I'm going to watch the last 2 episodes. Looks like that was a good decision. Honestly, I would, if you haven't watched any of this season, I'd just start with next week's episode. You haven't missed shit. Not anything that matters. God damn it. Would love to see you as a guest on Eric's Reloaded after party live stream that he does with Paigey every Saturday. I've listened to it a few times. That could be fun. That could be fun. I do follow them both. Right now, I'm popping back and forth between you and Rejects live stream. Fuck you, Greg! Stop live streaming when I live stream. Every weekend. God damn it. Anyway, I was like, what are they even talking about? I was like, clicking. Bro, I read some of the Invincible comics and I think I spoiled myself. Hopefully I forget by the time the show comes out. I saw a thing. I don't know when it would come up, when it happens. I don't know the details around it that lead up to it or the things that follow. But I saw a panel that I thought was like fan art, but I found out it was not. And it's actually something that happens. And I'm like, huh. Okay. And I'm in the same boat. Hopefully I forget about it by then. At least Iris is really enjoyable this season because they never know what to do with her. I will give it that. Her and Grant actually seem awake this season, so I think that's a plus. And them having a focus all this season has been my favorite part. And what they've done with Iris has been my favorite part. It's just frustrating that it took until season 9 for Iris to feel like a character they cared about. Haven't seen the show Brooklyn Nine-Nine. Great show. I've seen some episodes here and there with Barry, but that's about it. I haven't really watched a whole lot of it. Ted Lasso is everyone's kind of show, and I'm not kidding. Just watch the first 3 episodes. I might one day, but we'll see. We'll see. We'll see. What's your favorite sitcoms of all time? Friends, which is one of my favorite shows of all time. And then I love that 70s show, by extension, that 90s show. And I really liked for a long time Everybody Loves Raymond. Though I haven't watched that in a long time, so I don't know how much that holds up. But I do think that 70s show, that 90s show, and Friends still hold up a great deal for me. Those are really the only sitcoms I really watched. Unless you go farther back, I used to watch with my mom and my grandmother, you know, I Love Lucy, which I really did enjoy. The original Addams Family show and Bewitched. I watched a lot of growing up. Have you seen Schitt's Creek? One of my favorite sitcoms ever. I think I watched the first episode, and I think that was it. I haven't watched anything more of that. Have you ever seen the movie Kick-Ass? I have. I don't think I've seen the second film though. Very sitcoms are any of the ones that have Megan Gans has touched. The Community and Always Sunday under the belt. She's written, directed some great stuff. I haven't seen anything from The Community, and thanks to Barry, I have seen many clips from Always Sunny, and I feel like that would be a show I could watch, but I don't know how. I feel like reacting to that would put that show into age restriction real quick. Even though it's on TV. If Star Wars wanted to put celebrities in the shows, they should start with Keanu. I love Jack, Lizzo, but Keanu was made for Star Wars. He's made to be fucking Revan, and that would be awesome. Right now, I'm going through Punisher Season 1 and Defenders. Hell yeah, man. Punisher Season 1 is a god tier season. So good. Only made Season 2 more disappointing for me because I didn't think it held up to the first season. Sorry. Emergency with the washing machine. Adulting. I hate it. Hey, no problem. Shit happens. Gotta take care of that before anything terrible goes out of whack. Keanu would be perfect for a bounty hunter or a Jedi. Or a Revan, who is a Jedi. And a Sith. And the best of both. So excited to get John Bernthal back as the Punisher. Likewise. I loved him as the Punisher. I've talked about this before. He's the only version of Punisher I really like. Most of the live-action counterparts of Marvel characters are the only versions of those characters that I have liked. A lot of the characters, people that they cast and the interpretations we've seen in the MCU are the versions of that character that I like. Comic book versions, a lot of the video game versions, I've never liked, outside of Spider-Man and the X-Men. When it came to Captain America, Thor, Hulk, Iron Man especially, I generally could not stand anything that any of them were in until the MCU. And that goes the same with Daredevil. Charlie Cox's version is the only version of Daredevil I've enjoyed. Same with Punisher. John Bernthal's Punisher is the only version of the Punisher I've enjoyed. So it's weird for me. See, we got a new super chat. Real Eric again. Disney gives you full creative freedom to write and direct a Star Wars movie that brings a legend story back into the canon. What movie are you doing? You know? You guys know? You guys know? You guys know? Battery dead in this? Battery's dead in that. You guys know? But yeah. Also, fun little thing. I ordered some replica sabers of a higher quality version of that and his Sith lightsaber. You know, this is something I want to pose to you all. And I only learned this like 2 or 3 years ago, but like, whoops, I accidentally turned it on. Go away. Go away. Go away. I think it'll go off on its own. But how many other people for the longest time just assumed this was Darth Revan's Sith lightsaber? I mean, look at it. It screams dark side user to me, right? Anybody else? This was his Jedi saber. The other, his Sith lightsaber, his red saber, is literally just a stick with like a little gold trim at the tip. Like, it's the most basic, generic looking saber ever. And this, like, I don't know. That revelation threw me off for a long time. But yeah, it would be fucking Knights of the Old Republic. Without a doubt. You know what? Knights of the Old Republic is fine. I'll leave it as it is. I will retcon the Old Republic, and it would actually be about his journey out into the Outer Rim to find that evil that was looming in the shadows. And it would be not that stupid-ass Eternal Emperor bullshit that EA came up with and forced on BioWare. And it would actually, we would expand that onto, I don't even know what. I don't know. It wouldn't be that. Now I just gotta find my spot again. There we are. There we go. Found it. Your breakdown of Mandalorian Season 3 was some Dave Filoni level Duel of the Fates type assessment. I really enjoyed how much you liked it. That is high praise. That is some high praise. I will take it. I will take it. Thank you for that. Arrowverse fans deserved a final season of Flash where budgets weren't cut. I agree. And it pisses me off. Dylan is Trouble is funny. He is so weird, but I like it. Kick-Ass is a grounded teenager hero with no powers, and I got your invisible grounded teenager with Superman level powers. Yup. Yup, yup, yup. Am I ready for GOGT 3? I can't wait. We get our first F-bomb in the MCU, guys. We get our first F-bomb in Guardians of the Galaxy 3. Hell yeah. Everybody pray for me. My birthday is in 2.5 weeks, turning 30. I'm going to play the lottery. Maybe baby Jesus is going to take pity on me. Hey, man, I will send you that spirit bomb energy. Welcome to the 30s, my guy. And good luck on that lottery, man. Because I did that, though, you'll help a brother out, right? You know about Cyber Nerds. I love their channel and their watch-alongs on Patreon. I am not familiar with them. I'm afraid that certain characters may not make it, though. Yeah, we're 100% losing some Guardians. Let's see. New Rockstars are right now going through Daredevil Season 1 breakdowns, loving it, and cannot wait for Born Again. Me too. I'm more excited for Born Again than I am for any of their shows or other movies. What has been your favorite 2023 film so far? Mine is John Wick 4. What have I seen? I hate that I do that, man. But I just forget when the year ended, technically. Oh. Wait a minute. Hold up. Why didn't this come up? Because it's not in the title. Let's fix that. Let's get rid of that. There we go. Fix that. I hate when I just get, I guess, like, every time there's like a one-off and I don't use the same title scheme and I forget a movie to pop up. I don't have a movie that pops up. I think out of movies that came out this year, I think my favorite movie has been D&D, has been the Dungeons and Dragons movie. And then I would probably put Creed 3 under that. Then John Wick. No. Maybe. Oh, right. So I would probably go Dungeons and Dragons, Creed 3, Scream 6, John Wick, Shazam, Mario. Those are the only movies I've seen this year so far. I've seen a few concerts. Busted, McFly, Fall Out Boy, Green Day, Prince, Michael Bublé, Ed Sheeran, to name a few. Sounds fun. Gotta run. Have fun. Well, don't run too fast. You'll trip. Same there, Thruka. Andrew Schultz for Waluigi and the Mario sequel. I'm not familiar with him, but I'll take your word on it. In the comics, Brother Blood drank Connor's blood and copied his powers and kicked the Titans' asses. I was expecting that plotline when Connor got captured. Now I don't know. Yeah, I really have no idea, man. You deserve more subs. 47K is not enough. I appreciate that. I'm surprised we've gotten to this point at all, but I'm very grateful, and we'll keep on trucking, man. Do you watch Boba Talks? He makes breakdowns about Matt Reeves' Batman. I'm not familiar with that channel either, so that's a no. I already miss Pedro. He was amazing in Game of Thrones, but man, his death was freaking nasty, man. Yes, it was. And he was such a great character, too. I really loved his character. Really want Danny DeVito as Waluigi for the Super Mario Bros. Movie sequel. That would be hilarious. I would be totally okay with that. Iris' best episode ever was when she investigated Ava and got stuck in the mirror at the end of the episode. That was peak Iris. I think that was a really good. That was when they were trying to actually give a shit about her story. It's sad because the story, the memorable one, with him taking over the world and brainwashing everybody, was a good concept and could have been cool for the show. Fair. Are you ready for the DC panel CinemaCon with the Flash movie, Blue Beetle, Aquaman, Lost Kingdom, Joker 2, Superman Legacy, Batman, The Authority, Blade Build, Supergirl movie? Dude, they're not going to talk about all of that. I mean, we can't watch it, so am I excited? Sure, for what news comes out of it, but we're not going to see anything. Unless it leaks, and I won't watch. I'm not watching any leaks for anything, man. Barry, this new season, that's another show I really want to watch. I've heard great things about. That seems like it'd be a little more up my alley. It's also amazing, and now is the time to catch up on Ted Lasso. The mid-season finale just aired, so 6 more weeks left, and the episodes go by quick. How long are the episodes? Ruka, he needs 1 million subs. Guys, get on it. Let's get it. Golden Girls really holds up, and Designing Women cracks me up. I've watched Golden Girls. Golden Girls is good, but I've never seen Designing Women because, my God, the hair. Airs Reloaded actually does his live streams just 1 or 2 hours after your Saturday stream ends. Really? Interesting. I'll have to maybe check that out. Stephen Amell as a Jedi. I would be totally okay with that. But we have to go in when he's training at the temple. He's got to do the rack. It's got to be in his contract for anything he does. After. Start watching your dark reactions. Don't worry about anything. You'll understand everything in the last episode. I would hope so. But yeah, I'm loving the show, man. Friends is the best. It's my favorite TV show ever. I've watched it so many times. Me too. I've watched it probably beginning to end at least 10 times, possibly more, and it never gets old for me. The problem I have with watching it now is I actually get depressed when I watch it now, which is hard. Like, I'll still laugh at stuff, but like the themes and the ideas and the storylines actually make me sad now. And maybe that's because I'm older than all of these characters now, and it just makes me think of how me and my friends have all drifted now, and it just makes me not feel good anymore, sadly. And also a lot of people's like criticisms about how some aspects of it just are one word or another by today's standards, honestly, are just nitpicking and out of context scenes. While there are some things, the general theme anytime any of that comes up was as a point of growth for the characters to move past. Like Ross's homophobia, like Chandler's issues with his father, all that stuff was, while played, for play to take the seriousness out of it, at the end of the day, the characters were purposefully flawed in that way so that they had an arc to grow through. They were always wrong in those situations. Chandler accepts and loves his father in the end. They build that, they unite that back together. Ross walks Carol down the aisle for her wedding with Susan. He turns around on that. He also learns why he's been preconceived with those notions when you have Freddie Prinze Jr. showing up as his nanny in an episode and he's a little weird about it. They're always wrong. And the stuff that gets floated around and shared all the time is, it's just, the context is just completely not in the conversation because none of these fucking kids have ever watched it. And they're like, oh, that old thing that everybody talks about and loves is blah, 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 blah. It's the XX and thing or the other. And I'm just like, what the fuck? Like, sure, some things may not have aged well, and there are some things about the show that could have been done better. But you got to think for the time it was actually very, very progressive and moved a lot of things to the forefront. So they did what they could at the time. Could they have done better? Sure, any show in the 90s could have, but I'll defend that show on high, man. Anybody who talks shit about it in that manner just hasn't watched the show. Do you have Apple TV? I don't. I do not currently. Have I seen Ghosted with Chris Evans? I saw the trailer for it, and I was like, I don't know. I don't know. I saw the trailer, and it's like, that looks cute and fun, but it was like they put the whole movie in the trailer, so I was like, do I need to watch it now? I don't know. Will they give Punisher his TV show back? Punisher Born Again. I doubt it, but we'll see. Cross our fingers. Most of the MCU characters are better than the comic books, minus a few. The MCU is really great at casting. I gotta agree with you guys on that, because they really turned me around on the characters I found unbearable to read or listen to in most things. Schitt's Creek has a fairly lackluster first season, but from season 2 onward, it became one of my favorite shows. I know one show that I was very curious about starting was Succession, because I do like Kieran Culkin, and I saw his Hot Ones episode that came out like a week or two ago, and I don't know. I was like, maybe I should maybe give it a chance one of these days. Good night, guys. See you later. Take it easy, Thruka. Thanks for showing up. Sorry, how could you not enjoy Colin Farrell's portrayal as Bullseye in Daredevil? Dude, he was top tier, man. I was top tier casting. Nerd. Look who finally showed up. Hawkeye is definitely better in the comics, though. I don't know. I mean, I can't speak for it, because I've honestly not read or seen much of any other interpretation of Hawkeye. But I do like this grounded, kind of disgruntled, just dad guy with a bow, with all this crazy shit going on. I like what they've done with him. He's probably way more layered in the comics and stuff like that, so I can't really speak for him. I just mean like the major players. I just find them unbearable in the comics most of the time. But like I said, I've never read much of Hawkeye anything. We're all nerds here, Barry. I suppose so. That judging ass look. Thought it looks like evil Darksaber until now you said it's his Jedi one. Exactly. Right! This was the one he made when he was a Jedi Knight. And he kept it. It's his purple blade. This is his purple blade. I could probably, hold on. I'm gonna see if I can put this on the screen. God damn it, dude. Fucking, I hate web. That stupid file extension needs burned off the internet. That. I like. Whoops. You son bitch. Come on. What the fuck? OBS, behave. Okay. God damn it, dude. God, why is this so... why are you freak... Let me resize you. There we go. That is his Sith lightsaber. This is his Jedi one. This one is red. This one is purple. Anyway, moving on. Never watched Star Wars, but would watch your movie without hesitation. Star Wars. What has Manu Bennett done after Arrow? I honestly have no fucking clue. He's literally just disappeared from the map for me once he left Arrow. Hollywood needs to use him in big projects more. In my opinion, he's a really underrated actor. He was really great. I assume Scream 6 spoilers are okay now, so finally I gotta say, Sam going stab crazy at the end was awesome. Love the callback to Sid doing it in the first, and just how savage this was. Yes, Scream 6 stuff is safe. And yes, that was one of my favorite bits of the movie, was her donning the suit, her father's suit, mask, and knife, and just wrecking that guy. How are you doing, Barry? Yeah, that's not to me. Don't talk to... Stop it. I'm still not sure how I feel about their sort of role reversal with Kate in the show. I mean, I thought that was fine, but I'm not really that familiar with these characters, so... Can't say. Pop-Tart wins? Pop-Tart's doing mildly okay. She's still sneezing, and every now and then has got a nosebleed, which we still have yet to find out, us or the vet, what is causing it. But, yeah, I don't know. Oh, I mean, so she seems fine. Like, she's never really bothered by it, but every now and then she just sneezes some blood. It's been a few days, at least. It hasn't happened for like a week or so at this point. Not Sid went stab crazy, but wearing the costume. Yes, I knew what you meant. We really get our first F-bomb in the MCU. About time. They dance around the word so many times with Bob's Apocalypse. 5-year-olds are going to want to rant. That's going to be, yeah, there's going to be some noise after that movie comes out. Hot take! I would have been fine if Season 8 was the final season. The final battle with Reverse Flash and defeating him once and for all with the Flash family would have been a great ending. I kind of would have been okay with that as well, but it wouldn't give us an Olive. We get our Oliver cameo, thankfully, with Season 9 existing. Maybe they could have done like a special. It's actually going to. If I win, I'll send you a super chat and finally join Patreon. Hell yeah. 29, 23 Ant-Man. 65. What the fuck is 29, 23? 65 Shazam 2, John Wick, D&D, Creed 3 all came out. What the fuck is 29, 23? I don't know what that is. Maybe you meant 2023. It was a typo. Yeah, that's gotta be what it is, because the 9's right beside the 0. What are your thoughts on the Fast and Furious franchise? I'm currently 3 movies in, although I've seen some future clips. I think they are really good, and I'm excited for when they finally go nuts soon. I really enjoy it. Like, I really like the grounded roots that they had in the first 3, 4, or 5. And for obvious reasons, they gotta just keep upping the ante every day of the week with each installment. And it's just cartoon at this point. It's just ridiculous at this point. But I still enjoy it. It's still fun. It's stupid at this point. But they did used to be like this grounded street racing crime thing, which I do miss at times, but I accept that they've kind of evolved beyond that. But, what was it? 7's my favorite in the franchise. But I really do love the first 2. Actually, first 3 or 4 or 5 even. I just like them all. But I think, like, after Paul Walker passed, they haven't hit the same for me in a lot of ways. But what was I gonna say? I had a thing I wanted to say. Oh, I was just gonna say, the first film is really good, even though it's a remake of Point Break. They don't express that, but it is the exact same movie as Point Break. Shazam was so good, it's so frustrating to see it flop. I am right there with you on that. Fast Furious is dumb, fictional car fun stuff to turn your brain off is so fun. Fun stuff, fun, yes. I agree. While it didn't start off that way, I'm totally chill with where it is at the moment. How about Sam Witwer for The Thing in Fantastic Four? You know he'd find a good voice. I'd be totally okay with Sam Witwer being in the MCU I'd like to see him in more live action stuff, because I liked him in Smallville, I liked him in Supergirl, I liked him in Being Human. Man, I really loved Being Human. That was such a fun show. I liked him in that. But yeah, as far as voices go, he's great at all of that. I would totally be down for that. 50K subs minimum by the end of the year, speaking it into existence. That's this year's goal, is to breach 50. I would love that. What is Lana and her family going to do next on the show? I have no idea. I don't know. I got nothing right now. Whoops. Sorry. Morning. Sorry I'm late. Jedi Survivor is out soon, which looks great. Are you keen on any others coming out? Final Fantasy 16 looks amazing. Of course, the new Zelda. I finally made progress on Breath of the Wild that I've been putting off for a long time. Finished the last Divine Beast I had been missing, and then I've just been doing all the DLC quests, which I just finished the other day before doing the final castle element. And then Survivor, I will be recording my sessions of that here on the channel. I literally, before the stream, went out and got the book today so I can read it before the game comes out. And Final Fantasy 16, I am excited. Really excited for it, because it's going to be very different. I'm very curious about the vibe, but everything I've seen looks really good so far. Shazam 2 was a weird scenario where people didn't watch it because they didn't think it was important to the new DCU, and making no money increases the likelihood now it won't be important. I don't know. I made a whole tirade about that in our Discord about somebody who made that very same thing. It was like, it's not going to matter. And I was like, well, they said it would. Like, if it did well, if people went to see it, it would carry over. And the fact that they're not seeing it is the reason it will no longer matter. So they're the reason that they created the future themselves. There was a lot of weird takes on that, and most of them didn't understand their impact on the film. And why see it if it doesn't matter? It was like, well, you've seen it. Like they've said, if you see it, it'll continue. And it's so easy to slide that into the James Gunn stuff, the way it was framed. I still have my fan theory that it already takes place in James Gunn's reboot timeline, but we'll see what happens. But yeah, it's frustrating, because the logic behind a lot of people's reasons for not seeing it was contradictory in and of itself. It was hypocritical in and of itself, and it was so annoying. Not even training with a rack. He just needs to do the motion and use force to pull himself up and down. Hell yeah, man. If you could get any voice for a virtual assistant, which one would you get? You get either Keith David, ooh, that's a good one, or some rando Scottish or Irish guy to complete with cursing at mistakes. That's hilarious. Oh, damn, I don't know. Keith David's a really good one, though. You did come out strong on that. And I do kind of agree with the Scottish-Irish bit. Matthew Mercer. I would totally be okay with that. I don't think landing on cars is more comfortable than landing on grass. How the characters survive in Fast 9, I don't think about it in Shazam 2. Talks about Fast and Furious, where the Wizard Rock Pacemaker, Actor Rock Peacemaker. It gets a little money. Salmon skin roll. Ross is the worst. He's not the best, but that's not the point. He's not supposed to be the best. Oh my god, thinking about my favorite shows about adults or teens growing up, I'm 1 year older than Clark was in the finale of Smallville before the final scene's time jump. Clark was 24. Time, man, catches up with you. Imagine if in the Flash series finale, the ending scene is Eric Wallace sitting in the time vault, and he says everything that happened, he wrote it, like Kang. I would, just roll my eyes and turn that shit off. Damn. Thanks, Omni, giving me an existential crisis. You're welcome! Hearing you talk about Friends makes me realize I love Always Sunny for the opposite reasons. The characters have flaws, but they somehow always get worse. Their character arcs are character regression. I do like that about what I have seen from Barry about Always Sunny is just how batshit insane those characters are. Ghosted looked okay. It looked like dumb, cute fun. I don't know if I plan on reacting to it or checking it out though. In case you didn't know, there's a reactor I watch that's currently reacting to Friends and Angel and Buffy. It's Thor Reacts, if you're interested. I'll have to, I'll write that down. I'd be very curious to see somebody currently watching Friends. Because again, I say like half of people's complaints would be mitigated if they actually watched the show and didn't just harp on out of context clips with, again, no context. Where the fuck is my pen? Whatever. Thor Reacts. Yours, Chainsaw Reacts, Paige, Canada Graphs, and Eric are the only live streams I'll watch. It's good. Most of these are on Saturday because otherwise I hate streams and podcasts. Fair enough. I always find it difficult to sit and make time because they're always long. They always go on for a while, and you know sometimes you got other things you want to check out. So I get it. It's always difficult for me to like sit through a whole podcast or a whole stream or something like that, which is one of the reasons why when I started the stream, that music was on 2x speed because I was listening to one, and that's how I get through some of them. Know a lot of comedians are not so great their first season, but immediately pick up in the second. The Office, Parks and Rec, I've also never seen Parks and Rec. I've seen like some scenes, but that's it. I've seen a couple of episodes of Big Bang Theory, and while it made me laugh a couple times, it seemed like it was trying way too hard to be nerdy. How I Met Your Mother I did really enjoy. I forgot about that. I do really like How I Met Your Mother. However, I've not seen How I Met Your Father. If you haven't read it, you should check out Matt Fraction's Hawkeye book. It's the one the show was based on. I did want to do that, I just didn't have time before the show came out. I was very curious about checking it out. Hawkeye is definitely more useful in the comics, but he's still good in the MCU, definitely more PG-13. If you read any Marvel comics about Blue Marvel or Adam Brashear, I won't spoil him. If not, I would love for the Marvel to bring him in. I don't know jack shit about whoever that is. Marvel is, like I've said many times, outside of what has been shown in the MCU, outside of some things I've just kind of learned from just kind of tertiary knowledge by just kind of absorbing it as I've been watching stuff, outside of Spider-Man and the X-Men and any of the films that have come out, Marvel has never been my cup of tea. Marvel has never been the universe I was all that happy to play in. I love Spider-Man. Spider-Man's like my second favorite superhero of all time. So Spider-Man was the exception. Same with the X-Men. I did really like them because I grew up on the cartoons when I was a kid. But outside of them, I didn't care. I just didn't really care about any of the Marvel stuff. I could never get into it until the MCU came out. So anything I've learned about the Marvel comics has been because of research I've done because of the Marvel films, shows, and stuff like that. So yeah, I've heard of Blue Marvel, but I have no idea who they are, what they look like, and what their deal is. The only popular shows from the past I watched are Friends, Big Bang Theory, and 2.5 Men. I've seen like an episode of 2.5 Men. I haven't watched The Office or X-Files or other popular shows. Watch X-Files. You wouldn't have half of the shows we are even talking about in this stream if it wasn't for X-Files. Seen Ghosted on Apple Plus last night. It was good. Not amazing, but it's pretty funny with some solid action. Chris Evans and Ana de Armas have good chemistry. It's hard not to. They're two very charismatic people in general. I love Clint and Bucky's relationship in the comics. They're so funny together. It's like MCU's Bucky and Sam, but turned up to 11. It's interesting. You see in the comics, Hawkeye has a hearing aid because a psychopath hid behind a door and jammed arrows in his ear. That is messed up. I like the explanation in the show better. Hawkeye could shoot as fast as a machine gun too in the comics, and that's the thing. Yeah. he's him. The comic book counterpart of him and Green Arrow are kind of insane. Like, they have to be superheroes in some way. I'm job hunting while listening to you and thinking about all of my DVDs. If I have to move for a new job, I'm dreading having to pack up all my DVDs and books. Imagine you dread packing your Funkos. Dude, at least they're in boxes. I could stack them. They'd fit in a box nicely. The thing I worry about packing up and moving are the statues, because there's no real way to pack them all with certainty. They're not going to break in a move. That's what scares me the most, especially since I got those Sideshow Vex and Vaxes, because those were a couple $100, man. So I really would be so sad if one of those broke in transport. Like Bruce Banner and Clint's relationship in the comics. Yeah, I can't speak towards any of that. If you had asked me to guess which is which, I would have lost. That one does not look like a Jedi lightsaber. Exactly. Anu Bennett was in The Hobbit. He was Azog the Orc. Really? I didn't know that. I did not know that. I'm glad Stephen Amell is doing heels, and Melissa has the Girls on the Bus show coming up. I hope Grant doesn't disappear into irrelevancy and gets ignored by Hollywood. I hope the same too. I hope he finds something. He deserves it, man. He's really good, dude, at a lot. So, crossing my fingers. The Hobbit ended before Arrow did. What are some of your favorite arcs from Clone Wars? Mortis. The stuff with Saw Gerrera where they are kind of taught how to fight back against their government was a really good one. The Ahsoka's setup and betrayal and the trial for her is a good arc. Those are the ones that come immediately to mind. At least. Didn't read much of that relationship, sadly. Why are there so many variants of lightsaber hilts? Is there some canonical sense behind it? It makes, besides looking cool, as they do the same thing. Well, each one is made individually by hand by the Jedi. Like, there's not like universal parts. They have to craft the parts, they have to assemble it themselves, and each Jedi makes it like based on their tastes, their aesthetic, their vibe. Like, their lightsaber is theirs. They're not given one. They have to build it themselves. They have to find their own crystal, attune to their own crystal. Everything about their saber is a representation of them. So that's one reason, at least. You won't regret it. You definitely got to check out Cyber Nerd's reactions. I have written them down. I don't know if you've heard of Soup Can 3D. Designs cool lightsaber hilts, like a John Wick one from space for a hidden pencil, and he'd definitely do a Kingdom Hearts one. Ooh, Soup Can 3D. You had me at Keyblade or Kingdom Hearts. That is not the word. Soup Can 3D. I'll look into that. How much impact do you think the writer strike is going to have on shows you react to? Superman Lois is finished filming for season 3, and no word if season 4 is greenlit. But others, I didn't even know what was going on, so it's news to me. I have no idea. Part of me feels like the F-bomb will end up being some other word, because I heard in the Guardians of the Galaxy game them saying flarking, so it might be a reference to that. Just the censor of the clip for buzz. Hope legit though. We'll see. Yeah, Grant has already expressed interest in doing Hallmark-style movies, just coming in for a few weeks and doing his thing, getting a paycheck, and then going home to his family. That's fair. That's fair. He already did one for Netflix, some dog rescue movie, and it seems to be popular. I did see that came out, but I hadn't actually watched that movie. Maybe Grant and Manu just feel satisfied with what they've done. They don't feel like doing anything big. That was also fair. Also, he's a brand new father. He probably just wants to do something that's not going to be heavily stressful, where he's the centerpiece of a show that has him shooting at night, like every day of the week, for months on end, in a country he's not from. So, like, yeah, I definitely get taking a step back for a hot minute. 3K left. That is doable, I think. I think we can definitely get there. Especially once especially when Ahsoka. I think some of the bigger shows like Secret Invasion and Ahsoka come about. I think they'll give us a little bit of a push through it. I'm curious if they're going to add in the death of Paul Walker's character in this new Fast and Furious movie, just because it looked like they showed scenes of him specifically in the trailer, I believe. I didn't watch the new trailer. I didn't want to watch it just because I feel like they've shown enough, but I did see a comment saying that they want to give that character more closure than they gave before, now that the series is ending. And I think they are going to kill I think you're probably right. Just based on that comment, I'm pretty sure they're going to do that. Let's see. Would you ever attend a big movie premiere if a studio offered it? My current goal is to make it to the Oppenheimer premiere this summer. Oh, fuck yeah. If I had the chance and the opportunity to do it, if offered, I would 100% do it. For sure. I'm really looking forward to Oppenheimer too, though. Ursula said the original timeline Flash doesn't exist anymore after Crisis. Do you believe that? I don't know what necessarily you mean. Original timeline Flash doesn't exist anymore. I don't know what you mean by that, because there's a couple different ways I can read that. Their past after Crisis was completely rewritten. Like, everything we've seen in all of the seasons pre-Crisis, we don't know that any of that happened. Hell, we know some of it didn't happen after Crisis. Some of it got changed, undone, rewritten, new things were done. So, like, I don't know. It just depends on the way you mean it. But in a sense, yes, that timeline is gone. I'm going to start watching Bleach soon, and I wonder if I should watch the filler then. Dude, I would skip any of the filler, personally. None of it adds to really anything, except there is the Zombok Toe arc. I forget what it's called. Those are kind of cool. I didn't watch it, but I heard some cool things about it. But like with Naruto, man, I just skip the filler. That's my suggestion. What's up, Jack? Hey, man. I'm glad I finally caught one of these again. Haven't watched your PR movie reaction yet, because hopefully going to film mine tonight. My voice can hold out. Hope it does. Hope you're not feeling too sick. How was the copyright with the music? I didn't have any issues with the music, though they did manually block my first one after being out for a couple of hours without any issues. They did end up coming around and then manually blocking it. I've still not got it unblocked. However, I did repost it with some stuff removed to trim it down, and they've left that one alone for now. But that's been the only hiccup that I've had with it so far. DC could have also waited until after the release and revealing their plans, but hopefully James will recognize what happened and still bring it into his universe. I hope so, because it was a really good movie. Underrated indeed. What's up, Rob? I think The Flash will be a great film. I hope so. I hope so. Blank slate. You get to create a Superman TV show of your choice. Who are your main and supporting characters? Who's your villain? The show in Metropolis. How old is your Superman, and what canon change? I mean, Clark, Lois, Jimmy would be a main character. We'd spend a lot of our time at the planet. We'd be in Metropolis. I'd say late 20s, maybe early 30s, give or take. Canon change? I don't know that I would make any. Villain would be Lex and possibly leading into Brainiac if we're doing like a season 1. Isn't Batman going to be older than Supes in the main DCU? We don't know. We have no idea on the ages. Anything that's been said has been pure speculation and rumor, and most of which he himself has shot down. With all this Shazam 2 discourse, it felt crazy that he of all of them showed up in Gar's Titans episode. I did think that was odd. I did really find that odd, but it did make me smile a little bit. The character isn't always sunny. Really just make me feel better about myself. It's a great show, in my opinion. That is fair. It's definitely one thing to make yourself feel good about what you've been doing, what you do with your life. Because at least you ain't as horrible as any of them. Also, I think Chad should have died. It was a bit overboard. I
I like him and I accept it, but I think it would have been an iconic death for the double Ghostface execution and would have added stakes and weight to the film. I kind of get that, but at the same time, I didn't want him to die, and people have survived worse in real life, so I'm okay with that. At least his intestines weren't hanging out of his body and he was hung from a tree. Like with the talks of possibly bringing back Drew Barrymore's character in the future. Do you have a favorite episode in season 6 of The Epic-Files? I've watched already and got to come. Or that you've watched already or got to come. What was the last episode that you watched? I know you mentioned a few. I know we talked about ranking. What was the last thing? I remember you mentioned last two-parter, I think. So I would assume that was Two Fathers. Because I remember you talked about Terms of Endearment and Rain King. I think you talked about a two-parter, which the next two-parter after that would be Two Fathers and One Son. Oh. I already have my answer. I don't care. You've watched some pretty iconic ones. I love Drive. I love Triangle. I mean, Bryan Cranston in Drive was great. It was episode was also written by Vince Gilligan, man. Great episode. But Jesse L. Martin in The Unnatural, episode 19, is a top 10 episode for me, and he is great. This was the first thing I ever saw Jesse L. Martin in, and it's a fun, cute, thrilling little episode, and he's fantastic in it. And it's one of my top 10 favorite ones. But right around the corner is Arcadia, which is also got one of my favorite moments in the entire show. I wouldn't put the episode in my top 10, but there is a top 10 moment in that episode. That's for sure. What are your thoughts on Blue Beetle? I think the trailer looks fucking great, and I really hope it does well, man. I am so sick of these DC bombs, man. Especially when they turn out to be decent. You know, I hope it lands, man. I really like How I Met Your Father so far. I will say sitcoms typically follow people who are just horrible, like Friends. Fuck you. Ross is the only horrible friend. How I Met Your Mother. Who's terrible in that outside of Barney? Frasier. Fair. I wouldn't call Frasier horrible, but he's abrasive. Cheers, also not horrible, but Friends, I take that as slander. Spider-Man is one of the best fictional superheroes of all time. Top 5. Started with The Boys yesterday. Loving it. Hell yeah. You're in for a ride, for sure. Like, few shows that actually portray normal and decent people or trying to be nice, or like The Office, Parks and Rec, Brooklyn Nine-Nine, The Good Place. I've seen a little bit of The Good Place. It looks cute. Gotta go. Take care, Omni. Thank you. Good vibes. You as well. Watch X-Files. That is my suggestion to anybody that wants to see the foundation of modern genre television. And the first show to have a groundbreaking first in a female lead ever on TV in this way, shape, or form, and the format we all knew and loved started here. Like, there's so much. You'll see glimpses of your favorite stuff as you're watching it. Promise you. How many seasons of X-Files and episodes? There are... there's 11 seasons. To be fair, there's 2 revival seasons. One's 6 episodes, the other's 8. But the main series is 9 seasons and 200... Well, depending, 201 episodes or 202 episodes. The final episode is technically 2 hours, and depending on how they list it, sometimes it shows up as 202, somehow it's 201. But total, there are 218 episodes. And 2 movies, which are canon, one of which is required to watch between... I mean, you can go into season 6 without having seen the movie, but some things will be really confusing. But the first movie literally came out in theaters, and you gotta watch it to know what happened between season 5 and season 6. Like, fucking groundbreaking. It does have a spinoff, which I'll admit I have never watched, about the characters The Lone Gunman. And it also takes place in the same universe as the show Millennium, which was also by the same creator. Need to know what I'm committing to. You're committing to a lot. Like, this is also like back in the day when, you know, seasons were 20-some episodes a season. But it's a lot of, you have your main episodes, and then you got your Monster of the Week episodes and stuff that. And some people like the Monster of the Week stuff more than the main story. Some people like both. Some people like the main story and not the Monster of the Week episodes. It's a little bit different for everything, but the thing about the X-Files that I love the most is that it plays with, while the first season, and I'd say the first 2 seasons very much have the same kind of vibe, once it starts floating off into these other territories, like, they flirt with so many different things. You can have like a rom-com-y episode. You can have a science fiction episode. You can have a comedy episode. You can have like all kinds of different stuff. Like, it becomes this, like, there's an episode of the X-Files that I can guarantee at least one episode out there there's an episode that you would enjoy. Like, I am wholly confident in that. Even if you might not enjoy everything, I guarantee there's at least an episode out there that somebody would dig. I accidentally turned this thing on again. I kept my boxes for the exclusive statues and figures. I have them for their safety when I inevitably move. Yeah, I tried to do that, but it got way too cluttery, and I ended up throwing out a bunch, so I kind of shot myself in the foot with that one. Personally, I wasn't the huge fan of Ghosted. Chris Evans and Ande Mars are super charming, but they need a specific type of humor written for them, and this style of humor missed the mark a bit. So yeah, it didn't instill that much confidence in me when I saw the trailer. I was like, that's a cute idea, but I don't know. And I almost started Big Bang Theory years ago, but then one of the actors was like, I'm the authority on all nerd stuff, and I say you're not a nerd, and then you're not. And that turned me off so fast. That's rough. I don't remember any of that. I don't know. I just was very mixed on that show. What's up, Tari? I'm trying to catch up with the chat so I can get some dinner. We're hopefully almost caught up. Let's see. I'm actually pretty behind still. It's Always Sunny has always been repetitive for me. The characters are really the worst people ever, and they just keep getting worse, and that keeps me watching. It's kind of refreshing in an odd way. I can see that. Have you seen Peaky Blinders? I finished it a few days ago. Absolutely brilliant. I watched like a little bit of the first episode, and that's it. I haven't watched anything more than that yet. The Mandalorian arcs in Clone Wars is some awesome stuff, especially when Maul gets involved. Yes, for sure. I forgot about that. See, there's so many things, like I just skipped my mind. You see the trailer for season 2 of Visions? Did a reaction to it, so yes. Cannot wait. So many good studios involved. Yep, we will be reacting to those when they come out. Could they make a new Darksaber? I mean, theoretically, but I hope they do not. Trying to plan ahead for fall semester, which is, should we cover the first Batman movies or the animated series? I would probably go with the animated series. There's a lot more to mine there than there is in the Batman movies. Let's be honest. Have your thoughts on checking out or reacting to any of the Walking Dead extension spinoffs changed recently? I remember you said you didn't want to fully dive into most of them a few months back. Right now, I'm still only, for sure, going to be watching the Rick and Michonne one. I haven't really decided on any of the other stuff yet. Did wait till not driving to share that nonsense, by the way. Fair enough. With all the AI writing going on, I'm afraid for the writer's strike. Well, they are garbage. AI is not going to write you anything of note or worth, so I think they should be safe on that front. kept all the boxes from the statues because of that specific issue. I should have found a way around that. Which Star Wars games are canon? Battlefront 1 and 2, the new ones. Battlefront 1 and 2, Jedi Fallen Order, Jedi Survivor, and as far as we know, that's it. Those are the only games that have come out with a story under the new canon, at least that I'm aware of. Elements from others are canon by extension and by mentions, but their contents have not been confirmed or not. And Oppenheimer looks lit. How would Qui-Gon react to seeing Vader? He would probably be pretty distraught. Guardians of the Galaxy was actually a lot of fun. What some don't know, Peter is trying to learn Groot's language throughout the game. If you play the New Game Plus, you can actually understand Groot. Really? Interesting. That's a nice little detail. I plan on starting my channel by the end of the year with a specific goal of getting a creator invite to Avengers Secret Wars. Like 3 to 4 years is doable. That's a lofty goal, but go for it. How do you feel about the handling of Trini in the new Power Rangers movie? I felt really sad watching it, so I think I zoned out a bit. Didn't like it as much as I should. I'm still not sure how I feel about the way they addressed it in the plot, but I liked I liked how the episode became a tribute to her and her character. Regardless, I was never taken out of it. I thoroughly enjoyed the whole thing. I think they did a really good job about honoring her memory and her legacy and the character. I'm just not. I kind of almost feel like maybe, I don't know if there's a better way to have done it, but maybe have had her die off screen or prior to the special. But then again, with Rita being involved, there's not really another way around that. So I'm fine with what they did. I don't know how to feel about it. But yeah, I don't know. Ragu, thank you for the 5 pounds for unagi. Hell yeah, man. Iconic. And what was the last thing? I just saw Rebecca's latest message. That message made no sense if you didn't read the first one. Well, I've read all of them. I probably just don't remember. What was the last thing you said? I know you said you were leaving, but I don't remember. And I'm scrolling for a hot minute here. Gotta run. Have fun. That was the last thing I've seen. And then there was that message I read off. Don't know. Where was I? Here we go. Do you think Batman Beyond will show up in The Flash? I hope not. That wouldn't make any sense. Also, I've said this before, hot take, I don't like Batman Beyond. What do you think of Castlevania and Blood of Zeus? I've not seen either, so I've got no opinion on them. I like the animation studio, but I've not actually seen them. You guys ever wonder if Han died in Empire? I have. That has crossed my mind, but yeah. I haven't thought too deeply on it. Did you see the Penguin Show teaser? It looks incredibly perfect. I did see it. It looks good from what we've seen. It wasn't much, but I'm totally down to see what they do with it once we show off more. They say Grogu has been with Luke for 2 years, but it's hard to believe it took 2 years for Luke to talk about Yoda with Grogu. Yeah, I can see it. I can feel you on that. All right. Elseworld's premise. Jor-El genetically engineers Kal-El to be the perfect Kryptonian and is sent to Earth to conquer. But John and Martha find him. He grows up and meets Jor-El. Meets an AI Jor-El. Where's your next one? Here we are. AI Jor-El wants Clark to mate with the perfect human and create a hybrid who will one day rule the planet. Clark, horrified, destroys the fortress, but not before a beacon activates and calls Zod. It's an upward story about what if Kryptonians were super supremacists. And so, I mean, it's just Invincible, but Nolan's good. I mean, it can be done well, but it reminds me too much of Invincible, personally. How hyped are you for Guardians 3? Pretty freaking excited. Have you ever seen Troll Hunters? No, I have not. Really, Ross really was the worst friend. Yeah, he was. And they were not on a break. I'll throw that down. They were not on a break. Unnatural. Got it. Last episode watched was Alpha. And I'm on Traveler next. Also, the guy that the lead, not the lead, the that's a spoiler if I say that. The guest star of the week, I guess if you want to put it that, on that episode of Alpha, was the lead in the first Hellraiser. Watch Buffy. I've seen all of Buffy. I love Buffy. Willow was one of my first crushes. I really hope Blue Beetle finally makes him popular. Hope so as well. I agree with you. I wouldn't have Supernatural without X-Files. Especially if we're talking like anything made in and around Vancouver. Like all the Flash stuff, Supernatural, pretty much anything on the CW, really. You know, Buffy wouldn't exist, Angel wouldn't exist. The elements of Doctor Who's revival were inspired by the X-Files. A lot of daytime television and women's rights in film and stuff like that, and the way women were portrayed, the way genre was taken more seriously, everything all really kind of stems from X-Files influences. Sonic 2, nerf Sonic. How could he forget his super duper speed in that Siberian bar scene? He could have swiped the Mac back in a flash. Well, they didn't. They didn't nerf him. You can make that argument about every scene about Sonic and every scene about any speedster ever. Shit like that's going to be happening because there's like 99% of the situations when you have super speed, you can't be stopped. It's just a kids movie. It's not a nerfing. It's just bad writing, really. Cheers had some amazing theme song. It does have a really good theme song. I've seen some Cheers. I dread the day people don't know the lyrics. Peter 3 saved a love interest. Peter 2 saved Norman Osborn from his own glider. Peter 1 got his secret identity back. The Statue of Liberty really does represent second chances. Hell yeah. I like that. That's a nice little catch there. Omni behind on chat. Catching up. And now I realize I'm described invincible. Never mind. Oh, damn. You found it out on your own, and I realize now I've just described. Except, no, the Nolan thing. Clark doesn't agree with it. He's not trying to force Jonathan to be his next murder baby. He's like, nah, I don't want to do it. So it is a little different, but it is very, very derivative. Because that's the inspiration behind the Viltrumites. Should Kang be recast? I mean, if all this shit turns out to be true, sure. But right now, I mean, like anything else, we need to wait until facts come out. We don't need, I don't think we need another Johnny Depp situation where that clearly got backtracked on. Because we all know, and this isn't always the case, and I swear to some people this is a hot take, we know once people blow up, once people get famous, you know, who knows? You can have some bad faith people come out of the woodwork and try to cash in on your fame, and who knows? So I don't know what evidence there is. We don't know. It's going to happen in the court. Decisions are going to happen that are going to be happened, because I don't see this being as public as the whole Johnny Depp Amber Heard thing. But I have to imagine if the evidence is there and it comes to light, you know, we'll see what happens. You know, but I don't know. I feel like many things, people are just so easy to just jump the gun right now, and I don't know. However, the texts that he released were very sus to me, so I don't know. It all just depends on what is decided, and we'll go with it, and we'll see what happens. And yet, Ezra Miller still has a job. For now, we don't know what's going to happen once the movie releases. I think they're holding off on any decisions until the movie comes out. Let's just recast any problematic roles with Keanu Reeves. I don't know if we can recast Kang with Keanu Reeves. That might be problematic in a different way. Squadron is canon as well. I forgot about Squadrons. I have that game and I have not once played it. Any reason why we didn't get Battlefront 3? Because EA is a bunch of asshats. Knights of the Old Republic is currently not canon. Revan is canon. Revan exists in the canon. That is confirmed in the visual dictionaries for Rise of Skywalker, that Revan exists. What aspects of Revan exists is unknown. Knights of the Old Republic is still EU, is still Legends. We know the character exists, much like Thrawn. The Heir to the Empire stuff has not happened in canon and will not happen in that way, but Thrawn has become canon, and in that way Revan has been made canon, but what elements of KOTOR are canon, we don't know. Don't know yet. And I just hope we find out one day. Dude, that message made no sense. I already read that. Happy Saturday indeed. It's always nice chilling with the omnivores. I think we're gonna go with the Insomniacs. It's morphin' time. Yes, it is. Everything pre-2014 beside the movies and Clone Wars show was made non-canon. Everything 2014 forward is canon unless otherwise stated. So no, KOTOR is not canon. Exactly. Insomniacs are great. Batman Beyond is cool, but yeah, he doesn't need to show up on the Flash. It's good that Marvel is now focusing on quality over quantity. I'm worried that if the delayed projects are pushed post Avengers 5 or 6, probably not. Those will probably get pushed back as well. I would imagine. I would vote Michael Ealy as Kang. Why does that name sound familiar? Whoops. Oh, I could vibe with that. I've seen him in some stuff. We could also do John Boyega. I recently saw a trailer for a live-action Knights of the Zodiac with Sean Bean, and I'm horrified. Is a bit of an understatement. See, that's the opposite of somebody else. Somebody recommended I check it out, actually, but we'll see. I haven't looked at it yet. You did know it was Bwana Beast in the latest Titans episode, right? Well, he said it was Freedom Beast. He said his name was Freedom Beast in that, but I know the character, yes. Ever seen the Power Rangers outside of Mighty Morphin? Probably Dino Thunder. Jason David Frank. I think he's a good actor. He's also a great fan cast for Superman Earth 2023. His eyes are so blue. Yes, they are. What is currently inside the eye of Agamotto? Thought Thanos crushed it. Yeah, good question. No idea. What's up, Sketch? What did you miss? There's just a lot of just back and forth banter. I'm trying to wrap up. I'm trying to wrap up. See, Busy's in the chat. What's up, Busy? Hope you're having a good weekend. Kim Manners worked on Supernatural a lot too. Rest in peace, Kim Manners, man. You know, and there was a tombstone in the first season of the Revival series for X-Files. That was a tribute to him. He did a lot of great work. And he has the cheekbones. He does. If the Goblin's Grider stabbed Peter, it would have killed Goblin 2. Speed would crush his body, and he still would have got stabbed. That's a good point. It vanished! The stream was minimized, rather off on the screen connected to the car, so it's time for you. Screen opening a pin to scare off the life out of me. It wasn't a great story. Oh, that's hilarious. And yet, Ezra Miller still has a job. Yeah, I read that one. Amber Heard is proven right, though, when Depp's fans petitioned to release the evidence, and it showed that she didn't lie. Not that people still paid attention by that point. Yeah, I don't think that that's true. I mean, there was clear evidence she did, though, so I don't... Again, she's faked evidence many times, so I don't know. In the end, it didn't matter. And in the end, I don't believe that. So, I don't know. How did you first react to Peter using math to beat Strange? I thought it was fucking great and hilarious. 2 movies in a row, the Mirror Dimension got beat. Second by Wanda. It's true. You seen Peaky Blinders? Somebody actually mentioned that earlier. I've not. I've seen a little bit of the first episode, and that is it. Insomniacs. No Morbin time. Get that out of here. Busy. Hope you're having a good weekend. How do the lines on Spidey's mask always line up with the lines on his suit every time he puts the mask on? Good design and OCD. I don't know. I was just joking though, although in a multiverse, I guess technically they could recast Kane as anyone. But actual recast pick would be John David Washington. Ooh, that's a good one too. That's a good one too. Yeah, I knew you were joking. I knew it was a joke. I wasn't serious. But thanks. Crushing the eye could be an illusion. Maybe the stone. It was Friedenbeast in Titans. The man he mentioned getting the helmet from was Wannabe. See, that's what I thought. That's what I thought. Like they're Christian. Buffy is on Disney Plus right now. Is now right? And she show up in Blade. Oh, well, she's on. It's on Hulu here for us, so I don't know. X-Files also very well could, because Disney owns X-Files now too. I was bored with 9 episodes of Titans until we saw the special guests. That's fair. I wasn't bored up until we got those 2 episodes that we returned to, because I didn't really enjoy those episodes all that much. DBS superhero, I like for a second, go on smirked. He got drunk on his own power again until Piccolo snapped him out of it and went straight for special beam cannon to finish the job. Dude, superhero was so good. I really, really enjoyed it. Oh no, he's so close to Cat. Chat, spam! The stream's almost 3 hours. But yeah. Anyway. The whole herd Depp thing was just clear that it was just a toxic relationship all around. People defending Depp because Amber lied and did shitty stuff, but did some shitty things. Oh, I was not saying that he didn't. I'm just saying everybody was shitty in that situation, but I don't think anybody deserved their careers to be completely decimated because of it. I mean, that shit happens. That's on them. But she also actively tried to defame him and stuff. But I don't know, man. It's a messy thing. I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen with the Jonathan Majors stuff. God knows what's going to happen with the Ezra stuff, because that stuff's just... That's... The fact that that stuff hasn't been addressed, that is crazy to me. Because that's actively and repetitively involved the police on multiple occasions. So, I don't know. It is what it is. The whole thing with the bottle was true. Yeah, John Boyega for Kang. Hell yeah. I'd totally be down with that anyway. Yeah, I don't know. It's all a matter of perspective, and it all depends on context, which, from what we have, I still think it's debatable who's what in some situations, but it is what it is, man. I can confirm the X-Files is on Disney Plus, at least here. Yeah, outside of the US, it's on Disney Plus in other countries. In the US, it's on Hulu, along with Buffy. But outside of the States, X-Files, Buffy, all that stuff is all on Disney Plus. Mando Red Door fight. It was really like a game fight. 2 guys, then go through next 2 guys. And it escalated each level, each stage, each door, which was a fun little detail. Let's see. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. Omni, here's hoping my neck feels better. Tomorrow is driving me up the wall. I can relate way too much to that. So, like, yeah. I hope you feel better. I hope you can work out that kink in your neck and, yeah, get back to some more X-Files. And let me know once you've seen the Unnatural. John Boyega is a great actor. He could do Kang. Love this season of Mandalorian. Hell yeah, me too. Sure. I don't know what sketch was sureing about. Maybe it was the Morbin time comment when I was talking. Stop it! We morph here. We don't morb. Speaking of, fun little detail. Oh, I've just been reading the chat because I hadn't loaded. They actually used the Legacy Morpher in the special. When the actual replica is better than their actual props, they used the Legacy Morphers. Also, made me extremely giddy that they used this version of it and not the Hasbro cheap-ass, plastic, stupid, fucking inaccurate piece of shit one that Hasbro's Lightning Collection put out. They don't have the colors on the sides. It is always and has always been black. 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 Not red. Not red. Not pink. Not pink. Yellow, blue, whatever. Black. God. Since Hasbro took over, I've not bought any of the props that they've released. They've completely failed on that front with all the Power Rangers stuff. Anyway, sorry. Thank you. I will do. I don't know, man. Watch the. I don't even care about this. I do not. I'm not getting into it. You know, have your opinion, but no. I don't agree. It's morphin' time. Just got home from crafting. How are you? I bet you all talked about Mandalorian. We talked about it a little bit. Not too much, but we talked about it a little bit. But yeah, we're about to head off. Hope you're having a great weekend. Barry, you're not a platypus. Bear Mando now. Oh, you're a Bear Mando now. Oh, that's cute. Whining with Omni. When Omni actually whines. Barry took the creed. Haven't seen the new Mighty Morphin yet. Probably will. It's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun. I mean, the text, though, I want to be on Major's side, but those texts reek of scared/abused. That's how I read it. That seemed like somebody who was afraid about what happened. Like, those didn't sound... I told him what you wanted me to say. That's how it came off. It's like, I told him you weren't involved. I told you didn't do it. Those texts seemed so... And I'll give them the benefit of the doubt. I'll give anybody the benefit of the doubt until they're proven otherwise. But like when I read those, I was like, dude, I don't think these texts are saying the what you think they're saying. Like, it sounds like a partner who's afraid to fight back. Or afraid about what you might do. That's how I read them. I don't know that that's the truth, but that's how they came off to me. I'm sorry, I know you hit me because I was trying to grab your phone. Yeah, dude. It didn't send the message I think he thought it was sending. Barry, the Ewoklorian. What's your thoughts on Batman the Brave and the Bold after Flash restarts the universe? I'm excited for it. I like Damian a lot. He's my favorite Robin. Now, don't misconstrue that. Dick is like my second favorite DC character. But he's my favorite as Nightwing and his relationship with Bruce as they've evolved. But if we're talking specifically Robins, Damian's probably my favorite. And I'm excited for them to explore that relationship on the screen. Have a great one. I'm going to watch Blind Wave's reaction to Sandman the second your stream ends. I will probably do the very same. Hope Morbius is in it. I mean, he didn't drink wine, but he did wine today. I did drink a fair amount of this. But are we caught up? Are there any chats that haven't loaded yet? Or just pop them off? Oh, that's it. All right, guys. Thanks for the super chats. Thanks for the conversation. Thanks for the hangout. Thanks for just the love, the support. And I hope everybody has a solid rest of your weekend. And I'll see you guys next week. Take care, everybody.